Alright, guys. Welcome back. I was very bored, and I was thinking to myself, what the hell am I gonna stream today? Because I wanted to stream something, but there are no games out, because everything has gone off of playtesting. So, what do I know? I look at the announcements tab, or the kitchen tab, and SDF has been up to some crazy stuff since I last talked about this game. By the way, I told you so. I knew, we all knew, that SDF was going to revert these changes at some point in time. I didn't think they'd happen this fast, but it's very clear that his vision is not working. He has already reverted the gear changes to the game, and he sounds very close to bringing back solos. So I want to do a little bit of a discussion stream again today and talk about the stuff that he's been releasing in the kitchen. Talk a little bit about the patch, and begrudgingly, I might load up PvE Dark and Darker just for the sole purpose of seeing what the gear is like, since he's flip-flopped and reverted the gear back to the way it used to be. I still don't have any interest in playing, the PvP side of the game because I don't want to play against trios because I'm not a masochist. But I do want to talk about this a little bit. So welcome, welcome. Hey Andrew, I am here. Yes. Welcome Sneakers. Welcome. Short Kings. We all know Solus has to come back. Hey Speedy. Hey Gorilla. Do we see all ats or movement speed rolls? That's what I want to look at today. So I looked through the announcements, and SDF has reverted the random modifiers back to gear itself, and a lot of changes have happened. I've been saying for a while now that if SDF brings back solos, I come back to the game. But I also expressed my dislike of specifically patch 69, which is pretty obvious. I think a lot of people realize that I'm really not a big fan of the zero modifier roles that we had back in the day. So when SDF released a new season that had no modifiers, it was very clear to me that, there was no reason to keep playing. That said, he has reverted the random modifier change. So we are back to, what I thought originally was going to be this brand new. I thought that was going to be a brand new game mechanic or something changed that was going to make the random modifiers more interesting. Because, that's what the whole point was, right? To refresh the game and make it more balanced. So instead, he just flip-flopped back to the way it used to be. Yeah, the rolls are not as strong from what I've heard and what I've seen, but we're still just kind of flip-flopping back and forth like SDF likes to do. And the other thing that is very clear to me that I'm sure is going to get changed at this point is I know for a fact that this guy is never going to be able to balance solos versus trios. It's not going to happen. We all know it. You know it. SDF, even if he is too stubborn to admit it, since we've already gone through this whole song and dance at this point, even SDF has to be smart enough to know that it's not going to work. And he did talk about it a little bit here in the kitchen as well, where he talks about solo players. He is still like on this thing of wanting solo players to play reliably at mixed queue levels. But you know what else he said not that long ago? If we go to modifier in the kitchen channel, we can see from a week ago in typical uh, you know, SDF fashion. Where is it? I was looking at it earlier because I thought it was funny. Let's see, where is it? Did I find it? Probably can't find it anymore. Shame. I should have kept a hold of it. I found a message from SDF, and a few weeks ago he had mentioned that he really did not want to add back random modifiers to the game. So I'm assuming that this is basically him accepting it. The fact that we've gone from SDF saying that he didn't want to remove random modifiers or he didn't want to add them back because he wanted to make this like whole new fun system. And now we're here, weeks later. Who would have guessed? Not not me. It's not like I've been saying it for months now that bringing back patch 69 would be bad. Who would have thought, right? Who would have thought? So now that we've already flip-flopped one big game decision, I really think solos are going to be the next thing to go. So I want to go over the entire kitchen here for a little bit. Then I want to go over the patch notes, and I might load up Dad, but if I do, it'll probably be PvE mode, because I'm curious to see what the new gear changes are like specifically, because I know they're weaker. But I have heard that certain gear changes, like there are certain roles that don't exist. I think true damage doesn't exist on things such as rings. I think you can grab Frost Amulet still, but I don't think you can grab True Fizz on that. I think Helmet and Gloves also don't have true damage as well, from what I've heard. And I was discussing it with some people the other day. That's just kind of off the top of my head of what I can remember. They made this whole issue worse? Of course they did. We we all know that the solo trio thing isn't gonna work. It's not like it's a big secret or a big surprise. We all know this, right? I think we all kind of know this at this point. I don't even think it'll take him 6 months to revert this, to be honest with you. I think we're already getting to the point. If he's willing to revert the gear changes this quick, I think it's only a matter of time before he reverts the solos and duos as well. I mean, he has to, right? He has to. With how many players he's lost and how bad the season is doing as a whole. And the only reason we've even seen an uptick in players is because of the recent balance change, right? Or not balance change. I mean, it is balance, but the recent gear change. That is the only reason that we've had any uptick in players whatsoever. And if there was literally any other game in existence that was out that had Dark and Darker like gameplay, which we have, they're coming. We have playtest games coming out very soon. Once the end of the year comes, or like the next couple of months comes, it won't matter anymore. The only reason this even matters is because they basically have a monopoly on fantasy extraction games. But it's only gonna last for so long. As soon as Midnight Walkers, Mistful Hunter, Arc Raiders go down the list, as soon as all these games start coming out towards the end of the year, people are gonna stop caring about it completely, right? So that's kind of the thought. Well, here's the funny thing, TJ. I don't think I personally don't play duos, and I don't play duos, but I also think that duos was one of the most balanced game modes in the entire game. So personally, I still want to see duos come back, even though, yeah, I want to see duos come back, even regardless of whether I play it or not. I'm obviously biased towards solos, and that's the mode that I care about. But I mean, duos was still good, right? I don't really think there was ever a reason to remove that in the first place. Well, Silent, the roles aren't better, right? I don't think the roles are better than they're definitely not stronger than last season. I know that for a fact. Because last season we had roles that are debatably the strongest we've ever seen. So I'm not really quite sure if that is true, just from the numbers that I personally viewed myself. Well, Alistair, I'm kind of at the point where Dark and Darker is kind of on a timer for me. If they bring back solos before before these other games come out towards the end of the year, then I'll have a lot more of a reason to play the game. But if SDF drags his feet and he doesn't revert the solos like he already reverted the gear changes anyway, and he drags it until these other competitor games come out, then it'll just be time to move on entirely, you know? It's basically in this guy's court. I said it earlier and I've said it before. This is the one of the best games made by the craziest slash worst developer I've ever seen, you know? Unfortunately, I hate this guy. Like I actively do not like SDF. I think he's terrible for the game. But he got lucky and made a game that I enjoy playing. So unlucky for me, I have to deal with, this guy in terms of a game that I really enjoy playing. If we could just get rid of this guy, the game would be much better off, you know? But unfortunately, we are stuck with him and his constant flip-flop changes, unfortunately. Hellhammer is worse. Bro, honestly, I might take Hellhammer over SDF. It's almost like it's more of a duel. They're both bad. They're both really bad. I think SDF is only better because he got lucky, you know? That's basically what happened, right? He got lucky and he stole the right code from Nexon to release the game, but then at that point, he couldn't keep going with the charade. He couldn't keep up with the game itself anymore. He couldn't get the changes that players wanted, because that's what happens when you steal the game. When you don't make your own thing. I mean, there's a reason they got sued for $6 million. It's not like it's a secret anymore, you know? I don't think there are I don't think there's very many people here that at this point would deny that it's very clear that SDF stole things from Nexon in order to create his game. I think at least I've already accepted it at this point personally. So keeping that in mind, what can I even say? I think he just got really lucky, I think that's really what it comes down to. Lucky, are you not aware of the whole lawsuit? It was what was it called? P3. It was an unreleased game from Nexon. I think it was wasn't it under the project name P3? Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be a different project name. But yeah, when SCF and their team left, uh Nexon sued them for stealing trade secrets for the game that is Dark and Darker, for the game that was being created. Yeah, P3. So even though it was never released, like they still stole stuff from Nexon to make the game. That's why they got sued and lost, right? It's not like I'm just like pulling this out of my ass. Yeah, this is all stuff that happened. Anyways, I want to read through this a little bit, just to kind of give you an idea of. Also, I'm just gonna read it. Some of this stuff that he says is a little bit strange. Uh, During EA 6.5 and through our internal test reviews, we've been closely analyzing how elements like player skill, gear, and hit to kill interact with the combat system. This is really funny to me. I don't know why SDF decided to, like, be difficult or weird. Has anybody ever heard of the acronym HTK for hit to kill? From my understanding, it's always been known as time to kill or TTK. I have no idea who in their right mind uses HTK. It's very, very weird to me. Um, it probably doesn't mean anything, but I just think it's funny. Balancing skill versus gear is incredibly difficult to me because what feels fair or just right varies from player to player, even amongst developers. This is especially true in a game like ours, where both mechanical skill and long-term progression plays critical roles. What we've been missing is a shared language or tool to evaluate balance objectively rather than relying on the vague impressions or gut feeling. God, I don't miss In the past, I sometimes use the term time to kill to describe how fast combat plays out, but over time I realized that time to kill can be vague and doesn't fit the way our game works. Yeah, so again, I don't really know why SDF is trying to create new terms. Time to kill is the same as like it's this I don't know. This is it's really strange. I don't know why he's trying to add like a new acronym here. You know, everybody in the community knows what time to kill means in terms of Dark and Darker. Like if you asked me, you know, what is the time to kill for a Morning Star against, you know, like a naked rogue or something, right? If you asked me that question, I would answer, okay, well, how many hits does it take to kill that rogue? And that is going to directly affect the time to kill. You know, take 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. Hit to kill makes no sense here. And I read this the other day. What is it? Maybe like a day, yeah, like yesterday sometime. And it really confused me because it's like he's trying to make a new term for something that everybody understands. Maybe it's just him that doesn't understand. I'm not sure. But I don't know about you guys personally. I understand like how time to kill works for Dark and Darker personally. Maybe that's just me. Instead, we found that hit to kill, the number of hits it takes to kill someone, is a clearer and more useful metric. It's easy to measure and directly reflect two key factors: how strong your gear is and how well you aim, like landing headshots. Because of that, hit to kill gives us a solid foundation for balancing combat in a more structured and meaningful way. Of course, hit to kill doesn't explain everything about combat. Of course, it doesn't. There's many factors that influence the fight of the outcome, but here I want to explain it. You know what would explain the hit to kill? The more in-depth part of it? It's probably the time it takes to kill. You know what I'm saying? Oh, hey, Stuffy. Thank you for the raid, by the way. I appreciate that. Welcome. You're just in time to hear me yap about the game again. Hey, Mugen. We're just doing a little bit of yapping on the game because I'm bored. Did I click the wrong game on Steam? What do you mean that I clicked the wrong game on Steam? Wait, TOTV because I'm in the Dark and Darker category? Yeah, I misclicked. I misclicked this morning. My bad, my bad. So, real question, real talk, okay? Let's I'm gonna pretend like it's not SDF that's saying this, that's making me very biased on everything this guy says, okay? If you're like if you're looking at a metric for the amount of time it takes to kill someone, okay? For keep in mind there's dozens of weapons in Dark and Darker, you know, ranging from daggers that hit fast to stuff that's slower like Halberd or even Morningstar in the middle. Do you think it's the time that it takes someone to drop that makes them like, you know, that makes the biggest difference? Or do you think this hit to kill that SDF is trying to describe makes more sense? Like, personally, I think the amount of time it takes for me to drop is what matters to me the most, you know? Because a Rondell Dagger hits a lot faster than, say, a Morningstar will. I don't really know if it matters. I think time to kill is more of the umbrella term, if that makes sense. Where as long as I'm not dying insanely fast, you know, as long as I'm not dropping in literally seconds or seconds. I don't even know how long it takes to die in Dark and Darker anymore. I know it's really fast. I don't know about you, but I personally like the longer time to kill. That's really what I'm trying to get into. The longer time to kill for me is better. I don't really know if the hit to kill, I don't think this metric is really, I don't think it makes sense, you know? I don't really know why he's trying to like change like the name of the term. Because for me personally, I just care about how many seconds or, you know, how long I get to react in a fight, you know? Am I getting 5 seconds, 10 seconds? Am I getting three? Am I getting one? You know? Am I getting hit in the head once and losing all my health? Or is there going to be some kind of counterplay if I happen to get hit first? Right? So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. Just curious what you guys thought about that. I think it's a little bit weird. I guess it doesn't really matter. The only reason it matters in this context is because it's coming from the lead developer. If it was like anybody else, I would just brush it off and say who cares. But this is the guy that makes all changes to the game, so I thought it was worth noting. Have I seen Algerin? I don't know what that is. No. Well, that was my thought, Zach. Dagger, Rondell Dagger swings at what 4x the rate of a weapon like the halberd. So I'm not entirely sure how you can look at an umbrella term, or not even an umbrella, but I'm not sure how you can look at hit to kill when there's so many different weapons that hit at such different speeds, which is the whole point of time to kill. If a Rondell Dagger takes 5 seconds to kill someone, and a halberd takes 5 seconds to kill someone, I don't think it matters how many hits each weapon is taking. What matters is the overall time it takes for that player to drop. For me personally, you know. Hey, Enoch. Well, what's new depends on how long you've been gone. SDF recently flip-flopped the random modifiers, and he has been talking about solos, not just this week, but he talked about it last week too. I even made a stream, was it like over a week ago, that talked about this a little bit. So we're going over, it's a little bit of a discussion stream at the moment, talking about the stuff that's changing. Well, that's a good way to put it, Vincent. I'm with you. Or Vicente, not Vincent, Vicente. The amount of hits is part of what, leads to the equation for time to kill. But I don't think the amount of hits is the major thing. It's really the time that matters the most. Wouldn't balancing to not make true damage worse be easier if additional damage was better? Add competition? What do you mean by that? Are you saying that true damage is so overpowered that you want to make additional damage stronger? That's a whole different conversation we could have as far as gear goes. I think the problem is that Dark and Darker has been balanced for over 2 years now with the true damage in mind. The core of Dark and Darker's time to kill has been influenced 100% based on the freaking time to kill stat, or the time to kill stat, the true damage stat. Because these rogues build high action speed, and they all use daggers, and true damage is what makes them so competitive. Because when a dagger does 19 damage or 20 damage, and you add 9 true fizz to it, who would have expected that adding almost 50% damage to your weapon, or 30% depending on the rarity, in just true damage that goes through armor, through limb modifiers, you know, who could have guessed that it would create a balance problem? And then instead of reverting it or balancing it 2 years ago, he lets it sit and he keeps balancing his game month after month after month based on these stats such as true damage that he, is not able to balance. So instead, it's been so long and the game has gotten so many balance changes specifically to balance these stats that at this point, I actually would argue the game was in one of the most balanced states a few months ago. I think the game actually was in a pretty good spot. You know, I know some people think I only complain about this game, but that is not true. I've made videos praising Iron Mace. I've even made Reddit posts praising Iron Mace about the changes that they've made. And I absolutely don't think that at this point, this far down the road, removing true damage, I mean, I don't really like the stat, but the game is so ingrained on that balancing that it's going to be so much work to try to take it out that they really should have used the playtest server for this. I don't think removing true is bad, by the way, just to be clear. It's Iron Mace's fault for having it in the game for 2 years and not balancing it in between now and then. But they really, really, really should have used the test server and not just shoehorned it into the main server. Especially since they removed all modifiers and went back to the patch 69 that we had before, you know? Maybe he's thinking of it just a different way that I described. A dagger is 0.25 of a hit. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that's the way he thought about it. I'm not really sure. Well, yeah, Jeremy. Well, if it wasn't for the fact that there are no other games to play, I wouldn't really care anymore. But if SDF wants to flip-flop his balancing and he wants to bring back solos, then I'll probably play the game, at least until Midnight Walkers releases. My opinion, Midnight Walkers will 100% replace this game for me, personally, because it's very similar combat, and it's just, at this point, it looks like it's just by better developers. So, I will personally be jumping ship once it releases, but we have a few months for that. So, for the sake of not being bored for a few months, if SDF wants to revert solos and duos, since he's already reverted the gear changes anyway, yeah, I'll play it for a few months. I will be moving on no matter what in a few months anyway. Once these games comes out, I won't even think about Dark and Darker anymore. When I played Midnight Walkers, I didn't even there wasn't even a part of me that thought about Dark and Darker. I didn't even miss it at all. There was no part of me whatsoever that thought like, wow, I really wish I was playing Dad right now. It's only when this game is the only game on the market that the problem arises for me personally. Okay. Anyway, enough yapping. Because of that, HDK is a solid foundation for balancing. Oh yeah, we already read that, right? During the EA 6.5 test, we intentionally lowered the overall. I'm calling it time to kill. I don't care what this guy says. We lowered the overall time to kill values and simplified the models by removing additional factors like removing random modifiers. As a result, we observed positive effects that is increased possibility of 1v3 comebacks and more opportunities for players with lower gear tier to overcome opponents with stronger equipment. However, there were clear downsides. Instant deaths were frequent, which is not suitable for our game, where players carry items and accumulate over rounds. New players died from one hit, likelihood of quitting from learning the game. Through the test, I confirmed that the solution was not simply a lower time to kill, but rather a sufficient room for players to reduce time to kill through their own skill. Is this guy just going in a giant circle? Is that what this game is? Because everything that he's saying, like, he's talking about these downsides like no one knew it was gonna happen. He says instant deaths were frequent as a downside to his patch that we already knew was a thing. This isn't a surprise. No one in their right mind should be surprised that increasing limb modifiers to 200% headshot and like 100%, 150% across the board, and then making everyone have no HP is going to result in insta kills. There's like no one should be surprised at this. If he is surprised by this, then it means he doesn't understand anything about his game at all. Right? So I agree with him. Instant deaths are not suitable for a game where items are carried through multiple rounds. This isn't a shooter. It's not a first person gun game. You know, you don't have people running around with sniper rifles and ARs and SMGs and all that fun stuff. And in those games, like Tarkov, for example, you're gonna have insta deaths. It happens. And I'm not really a big fan of games that have insta death in them, personally. That's kind of why I've been drawn to these fantasy like games. But it's still worth mentioning. The downsides were always here and were always open, right? Like we all knew what was going to happen when this patch came out. You know, the moment I saw the 0 gear, because I haven't played the game in over a month, right? But the moment that I saw the no gear stats, the no rolls, I knew instantly that Barbarian and Ranger were going to be overpowered. Because those are the classes that benefit the most to when time to kill is super low. Because Barbarian has high base stats and high damage, so they one-shot, two-shot people when gear doesn't matter. Hell, even in the last patch, in normals with no gear like Squire gear, Barbarian still kind of reigns supreme. Because if you're all in white gear and no gear stats happen or exist, Barbarian naturally becomes really strong. Also, Rangers, because Windlass is such a polarizing weapon, Rangers can hit with Windlass and potentially one-shot people. And I remember we went through the same exact thing a few months ago when we had patch 69. Or not, I mean, it's been a lot longer than months ago at this point, but you get the gist. So no one really should be surprised at all by anything that this guy is saying, you know? Also, players dying to monsters in one hit, he shouldn't be surprised by this either. Of course players are dying to monsters in one hit. Of course they are. Because you're giving everybody, you reduced Rogue's HP to like, what, 80? I'd have to load up the game to see the numbers, but I think it's like 80 or 90. It's really low. And not only that, but everybody's health across the board was significantly reduced because the random modifier rolls on gear just, when you go from every piece of gear having plus 3 vigor or plus, 4 HP, and every single piece of gear is giving you health, and then you're taking all of those stats away, well, it turns out you go from like 170, 180 health, maybe 150, depends on the class and your build. You go from pretty healthy stats to every character running with like 100 HP, and that's the BIS, right? So, yeah, no one really should be surprised by the new players dying to monsters in one hit. I don't know why he's even saying this, as if it was like something that we didn't already know. Also, this right here, sufficient room for players to reduce time to kill through their own skill. What systems do we have in Dark and Darker that allow a player at a lower gear tier to outplay a player at a higher gear tier? Realistically, what skills do you have? You can kite as something like a ranger, like you can bunny hop and you can't bunny hop anymore, never mind. But you can still kite away to some degree as range to try to deal damage enough before they get to you. You can play magic classes like sorcerer because they do such high damage. So I guess you can win lesser gear like that. You have longsword parries, which they nerfed before this patch, by the way. I think they recently buffed it again, but they did nerf it again. You have shields, which didn't work for 2 years, 2+ years, that only recently got patched. I don't know if they're working perfectly. We have shields. But there's no like Mordhau type mechanics in this game, you know? A lot of like when you're in melee combat, a lot of the combat is left clicking, you know? Because a lot of the systems in place weren't working or not strong enough, you know? Do shields feel better now? Have the shield changes finally made them not feel, because whenever I had shields, I just kind of stopped using them entirely. Because at a certain point there's only so many times you can get hit through the shield because the netcode is so bad that you just stop wanting to block entirely, you know? Grayson, I don't blame you at all. I don't blame you, man. Trust me, the only reason I'm even talking about this game is because the other games aren't out yet. There's so many playtests that are coming out. Also, someone asked a question. Where is it at? I don't see it anymore. I'll just answer it because I don't know who it was. So Midnight Walkers is a new zombie extraction game. The gameplay is not exactly the same as Dark and Darker. I'm not trying to claim it to be, but it's probably going to be the closest in combat that we're going to get to Dark and Darker, you know? So for me personally, with Dark and Darker having no solo, no duo, and SDF going in a giant circle, constantly removing and adding the same exact thing over and over again. You know how you know that's true? Because if I tell you +3 +5 +3 +5, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? I don't even have to explain the context of those numbers, and you know exactly what the development of this game is like, and you know it's true. They're adding good features to remove them and say that we saw it was better before. It makes no sense at all. It just doesn't improve the game. Like, it's because all the things are back and forth. Yeah, pretty much. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. Anok. Well, SDF has mentioned solos. He mentioned it last week and mentioned it this week. I talked about it a little bit earlier. SDF already had said a few weeks ago that he did not want to add random modifiers back, and lo and behold, that's what he did this week. He added random modifiers back. And he talks a little bit down. We'll get there pretty soon. But he talks about wanting to. I'll just give me a second. I'll just freaking go to it because I don't remember exactly what he said. Where's it at? I'm satisfied with the internal test results and eager to adjust abilities of underused classes right away, but I plan to spend more time researching the remaining challenge, enabling solos to reliably play in a mixed solo queue or mixed queue at a practical level. So we all know that this is never going to happen, you know? You know it. I know it. SCF, even if he doesn't want to admit it, knows it. This is never going to be sustainable or going to work because it's not a first person shooter. It's not guns. You know, you don't have the great equalizer of every class being able to equip a sniper rifle and one-shotting someone in the head no matter what their gear is. Because it's not that kind of game. You don't want mechanics like that in a game like Dark and Darker. You know, people don't want rangers running around with a windlass and dealing like 100% damage on players. They don't want that. No one does. That's the whole point, right? Oh, hey Lich, thank you for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome everybody. You're just in time to hear me yap, Lich. Welcome, welcome. Hey, memories. Hey, Corona? Coronomy? However I say your name. Welcome, welcome. Give it to you straight? Oh, I could have made such a good joke there. Oh, Lich made it for me. Okay, never mind. Good, now I don't have to sound weird, because Lich did it for me. Nice. I know, Lich is quick with it. That's crazy. That's crazy for sure. Oh, anyway, sorry. My freaking rambling got sidetracked. So, yeah. We all know that solo is not going to work in this game. And because SDF has already shown that he's willing to flip-flop, I mean, he showed it in the past anyway, but he's already started flip-flopping in terms of gear stats. I personally think that solos will be back in the game. Alright, I'm calling it. I think solos will be back in the game within 1 month or by the end of the season. End of the season would be the coward's way out of, not wanting to give a closer date because I know he's crazy and it really might not be that soon. The safe answer is I think solos will be back before the end of next season. If I want to give a crazier or a more personal guess because of just how I think SDF is, I would not be surprised if he added it back in the next few weeks. I think there's no way in hell it makes it to next season because he knows. Hold on, let me pull out the freaking holy grail. Pull up the chart. Pull up the freaking chart, boys. All right. So just to give you an idea, this is when solos, duos, and random modifiers existed. Okay. This, where is it at? This is season start, right? Yep. This is the start of the season when they removed solos, removed duos, and removed random modifiers. Okay. So we went from 21K to 8K from removing that stuff. Then we dropped to 3K with all of that stuff in mind. You know, with everything he removed, we dropped all the way down to 3. The moment he reverted the random modifier change, we gained about like 25% of the player base back. Well, from where we were. We're still down. We're still down bad. But we did gain players to about 5K, right? So surely SDF is smart enough to see that, like, for this player base to rebound back at all, like, he needs to bring back the main game modes, right? I would like to think that would be true at least, you know? Enjoy talking about my ex and daydreaming about Mistfall. The outdoors awaits for you. Well, which I'm gonna be leaving soon. My birthday's today. We hit the big 3-0 today, so I'm only gonna be yapping here for a little bit, and then I'm gonna be heading out and doing some stuff outside. Go touch some grass, you know. Go actually do things that are fun with my life. You caved in and jumped back. Yeah, I thought about maybe just jumping in and just playing PvE a little bit, because that's like the only thing I would even have fun playing at this point. Unc? Alright, we don't need to call me uncle, alright? 300 years low? Swat, that's crazy. No way you just said that. 300. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks. Ain't no way. No way you just said that. Are you serious? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. Moving on. Okay. Moving on. Where was I at before someone distracted me? Oh my god, where was I? Give me a sec. Here it is. Okay. Yep. Time to kill through skill. The basic principles we aim for in combat going forward are as follows. Both skill and gear must matter. Only one of these two elements are well balanced. Can players feel rewarded for their growth and effort? If skill is too dominant, the meaning of collecting and upgrading gear disappears. Yeah. I imagine most of you will probably agree that in a battle royale setting, which is basically what Dark and Darker became, skill becomes the primary factor against other players because, you know, you're always starting on an equal footing. But extraction games have a different formula, right? If you are playing an extraction game, most of you probably have some level of expectation that the gear that you're collecting does something, right? It doesn't have to be it doesn't need to make you invincible, but it should do something to make the, you know, the fights feel, it needs to have an impact, right? That's the main thing. Conversely, if gear becomes too powerful, the game turns into a simple stat check. Well, SDF did that to himself too. Last season was probably the worst we've ever had it in terms of gear and you know, the stats of the gear itself. You know, we had uniques with +4 all, uniques with +4 true. You know, we had 20 all, like 12 true fizz classes running around, you know? And of course that causes stat checks. You know, we've had balanced points in Dark and Darker, believe it or not, even in the last few months. But unfortunately, SDF keeps reverting gear back and forth and making it too strong or too weak. And we never get to this like point where it's almost like a gambling addict. You know, he throws money to gamble, and then when he starts winning, you know, when players, oh, thank you, Troll Katie, for the prime, by the way, appreciate that. When SDF starts to win the gambling, which for me is when time to kill and the gear stats feel good. He doubles down and keeps gambling on making it better, but he never makes it better. He just starts losing. You know? Does that make sense? Is that analogy making sense? Because SDF has gotten to a point a few times now where he's rolled the slot machine and he rolled 3 7s, right? If there's been a few times he's done it, patch 68 in specific, or in particular, I think was really good. And then he goes, okay, I won the first time. Let's roll the slot machine again. And then it fails. And then it doesn't work. You know, he gets 3 empty spaces, and then the game is completely reverted back to where it used to be. And he keeps going through this cycle a lot. He gets a royal flush and then folds his hand to a pair. Well, he folds his hand. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Let's see. So hit to kill should be maintained at an appropriate level, allowing players who perform well to reduce hit to kill time to kill. I don't like this at all. To reduce time to kill and increases their chance of victory. Gear difference must have a clear meaning, as this creates a fun loot progression in game. However, if gap is too large, requires too many gear brackets, make it impossible for skilled players to overcome the difference, so it needs to be tuned to a reasonable level. Okay, I have another question to ask. Okay? Real talk. Gear brackets in particular is what I want to talk to here, okay? Is there anybody here last season when we had blue gear lobby normals and everything goes high roller? Is there a single person here who thought that the blue gear normal brackets were unfun or bad for the game? Is there anybody here who, you know, thought the game is better having no brackets versus having like a place for people to play with stuff like blues, you know? I think blue gear lobbies for normals was the most fun I've ever had playing this game. It's up there. Blue gear or 124, they were both really fun, you know? And what's even better is we had the player base to support it to some degree. Because you know what happens when you remove the brackets? You lose all your players. So, you know, right now we're sitting at 4,000 players. Whereas when we had all those brackets, we had 20K, right? Or maybe 15, whatever you want to call it. You know, the amount of players per queue was actually higher last season when we had access to all the different queues and the places people wanted to play, versus now where everybody is forced to play only trio and only, you know, normal or HR with no brackets, right? I don't even know what the game is like. I haven't loaded it up, but I'm assuming that's my understanding of what the game is like right now. But when you're splitting between 4,000 players versus 20,000 players, it doesn't do anything but hurt the game, right? You didn't like caps at all, Major? I'm surprised. What don't you like about caps? There's no games to play right now. Snow, I'm with you. Snow, I'm with you. Trust me. Trust me. I am so with you. If it wasn't for all the games that are out right now, being in playtesting and not out until the end of the year, I would be playing those instead for sure. You know, I said it earlier, but Arc Raiders, Mistfall Hunter, Midnight Walkers, I think all three of those games will be pretty fun to play. But they don't come for a few months. So until we get another playtest or those games come out, well, we're all stuck with Dark and Darker. Dark and Darker is like, it's like the X. You don't want to go back, but you have no other choice sometimes. Well, that's what you tell yourself. You tell yourself you don't have another choice. And you know it's a mistake. You know you shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway because there's no other option at the time, you know? And then we have like Arc Raiders, Mistfall, and Midnight Walkers. Like, that's the new relationship. But she's long distance right now and she's not here. So so you go back to your ex while you wait for the long distance thing to come back, you know? Dude, maybe I should try Mecha Break. I've some people have suggested that to me. I wonder if I should try that. That might be something fun to do. This is not a rerun stream, believe it or not, because we're going over some new info from July 7th, so believe it or not, yeah, not a rerun stream. Also, hey Brandon, what's up, man? Good to see you. Yeah, I thought about either playing Mecha Break or playing through Path of Exile 2 again, because I haven't played it. Look at that. Last played December 2024. That was a long time ago. I thought about playing that again just for fun. But yeah, Mecha Break I've heard is good, so I might end up playing that as well. I'd have to download it, but that's not really a problem. Do I have the space? I'll go ahead and just do it while we're yapping. That's fine. I thought about it already, so good time to do it. She aggroed your giant worm and then rushed off to a blue. That's how playing the game feels. Oh my god. That's funny. Alright. Gear difference must have a clear meaning. Okay, we read that already. Summary. Gear aspects. Maintain an appropriate time to kill in fights between players with similar gear levels. Recognize time to kill differences caused by gear gaps as a unique feature of the game. Skill aspects. Reward precise actions like headshots with higher damage, allowing skilled players to gain meaningful advantage. Even with gear gaps, provide skilled players opportunity to catch up without undermining the value of gear. That'll lead me to another question I have for you guys. I'm going to be back in a second. But before I leave, does anybody here like the 200% headshot damage multiplier? The OG players here are going to remember a time way back when they were going to add 200% headshot damage into the game. The community complained about it and said that sounds terrible. So they forgot quotes to add it to the game. And then they added it in this most recent patch. Does anybody like the headshot change? Just curious. Ranger mains love it. You mean the headshot change? I talked about that a little bit earlier, Shock. Windlass bow, for example, it does such high damage that it's so polarizing when a ranger headshots you with it. Because now you can actually die in one shot to rangers. It almost makes the game feel more like a first-person shooter than a tactical, well, not tactical, but a dungeon crawler game, When you give a class a one-shot kill potential, it's going to make the game feel less fun. Another example is Sorcerer. If Sorcerer headshots you with their, I don't know what it's called, the bolt. You don't know, I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. You kind of just end up evaporating, and if you don't die in one shot, you're almost dead in one shot, regardless of gear. So you're kind of in this weird spot where, you know, the 200% damage head modifier ends up polarizing the game and makes it really, really good for range classes like Ranger and Sorcerer. And then closing the gap as melee, if you take any of those headshots, like you're kind of just screwed. Now, conversely, if you're playing a class like Barbarian, who has high base stats and can kind of survive that damage, you know, just don't get headshot as well. Because even a Barbarian getting headshot by a windlass, you'll still lose a lot of health. Barbarian, conversely, can one-shot you in melee range, too. And we've been through this before. It's not like this is new. You know, it's not like... it's not like I haven't been through a meta, patch 69, where barbarians are running around one-shotting everybody. This isn't a surprise, right? But it's still what's going to happen and what is probably happening right now with the headshot damage multipliers, you know. Elemental Bolt, yep, that's what I was thinking of him. Yep, that's what I was thinking of. Has to do with more luck than skill. Do you mean landing the headshot in particular? Do you think landing the headshot is more akin to luck than skill? I mean, there's some degree to that. It's a little bit of both. I mean, there's a level of skill involved in actually landing a headshot, but there could be some luck too, because you can't control how another player moves. So, you know, if another player is like bending their body down and backwards and breaking their character's back, basically, trying to avoid that headshot, and you shoot and they happen to like duck into it, yeah, I mean there is a level of luck to that. I won't disagree with there. A magic protection pot or a regular protection pot, to my understanding, even if you have it up and get hit in the head, you might survive a hit, but you'll still be very, very low just because of the 200% damage modifier. I mean, Callum, I've been saying for weeks now that if SDF reverts the changes that he made to the game that like destroyed the season, that I would play the game again. Also, remember, there's no other. Callum, you might not have been here when I talked about this. I'm guessing you just joined, maybe. There's no other games to play right now. There's nothing left. The only games we have are, well, there is nothing. I guess we have Legacy, which isn't bad. You know, I think Legacy's a fun game. I kind of burnt myself out on it, but I could play that a little bit more. But outside of that, you know, like the big games are all in playtesting, you know. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I guess I'll just say it again just for the sake of you. You know, Mistfall Hunter, Midnight Walkers, and Arc Raiders are the three that I'm waiting for the most. Oh, and Hunger. I don't know why I haven't said Hunger. Hunger looks cool too, you know. But all those games are coming out not until the end of the year or sometime in the next few months, right? Kind of play old school RuneScape. Does anybody really want to watch me play old school RuneScape though? I've never played it in my life. I don't even know how to play that game. Stop saying Midnight Walker. You want to cry? Bro, you got it. Sorry, man. My bad. My bad. Trigger word. My bad. I'm not wrong for a filler. You'd understand playing it. Yeah, that's more what it is at this point, Callum. Dark and Darker is kind of the filler game that I really don't want to play, but there's nothing else to play. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I stand by what I said before. You know, I really do plan to move on from Dark and Darker for good. But I need one of these playtesting games to release officially so I can actually move on, you know. We can all play the I'm not okay. You mean Dungeon Stalkers? Yeah, so the closest game that comes out to right now is Dungeon Stalkers on August 13th. But we got some time for that. That's even still a month away. Old school RuneScape free to play isn't worth it. Is that true? I never played it, so I don't really know. Wait, old school RuneScape is 14 a month? Bro, that's like a WoW server costs. That's crazy. 14 a month for old school RuneScape? That sounds way too high. I guess inflation is a bitch. I guess it's the inflation. Sounds pretty high for a monthly fee. I mean, I can buy a good indie game for 14 bucks and then not have it for only a month. Well, Callum, I said the exact same thing too. Yeah, I said it myself. This is the best game being ruined by the worst developer. And it sucks, you know? Because instead of being able to be this, this positive streamer that talks good about this game all the time, I'm forced to look through these changes that SDF does, and I'm like, like, oh, he removed random modifiers again, or, you know, everybody's one-shotting each other again, or the range meta is bad again, and it's always something with this game, which sucks because it used to be so fun, and I still like the game. I just wish it wasn't SDF at the helm. I think it's being made worse because all the games are just the playtest, man. Like, look, I put 60 hours into Midnight Walker so far. This is for every single playtest we've had, by the way, not just the last one, but all the playtests combined. You know, 60 hours in Midnight Walkers. Mistfall Hunter, where's it at? Where's the M? It's hidden for some reason. Okay, I can't show it. I think my Mistfall Hunter was, I want to say it was like 60 hours as well. Put a lot of time in there too. Arc Raiders is also hidden, but I think I put like 10 in that. Yeah, a lot of my games are hidden, or yeah, because they're not open right now. But I put a sizable amount of time in them, man. Even Legacy, by the way, I put 250 hours in Legacy. It's funny. I've had people ask me like, why do I feel like you never play Legacy? And it's never been true. It's not like I don't play this game. 250 hours is not a small number, I would say at least. It's just that I'm more waiting for more content, you know? I thought about playing it just for the sake of like playing it because I don't have anything else to do. But I don't think 250 hours is anything small by any means. Hey Clarf. Yeah. Yeah, today's birthday day. Get the big 3-0. So after a few hours, I'll be heading out and going out for a while. Got some got some touching grass plans. And then tomorrow I think I'll be busy for a lot of the day too. You asked ChatGPT to recommend a game and it suggested Greed is Good. You guys remember Greed is Good? Where is it at? You guys remember this game? Bro, I put 2 hours into it, by the way. Oh shit, thank you, Corf, for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, even Greed is Good. I did try it. I really tried. Well, 2 hours was for release. There was a playtest for Greed is Good as well. And I probably put a good like 5 hours into that too. You swear I played more? I did. I did play more, Callum. It's the playtest. It doesn't show the playtest numbers. I did. Okay. Anyway, we prepared for an appropriate time to kill for upcoming patch, adjusted it so players can reduce time to kill through skillful play to a satisfying degree. I hope this will satisfy most players. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, anyone here who still plays Dark and Darker? Because I know it's not all of you. Anyone who still plays this game? Last Play Today is hilarious because I haven't even loaded up this game, but yeah, I don't think I've played it in over a month. Do you think the time to kill right now with the recent adjustment in gear, do you think the adjustment has made the game more skillful? Caught? Yeah, not caught, unfortunately. I could prove it. If I load up the season, you'll see all my characters are level 1. Bro, the calling. Rip the calling. Remember the day 1 reference server? Last played September 2018. Oh, the feels. Not 7 years ago. There's no way it was 7 years ago that I played this game. There's no way. It's impossible. You know, I tried to play the calling a while back, a little like this year. Yeah, back in May, I tried to like just play offline to see if I could do it. It doesn't work. You load it up, and then it crashes every time. I was so sad. I was gonna play some offline just for fun. Can't do it though. Doesn't work. No, I don't have access to Crosswind. I applied for the Crosswind creator program, never had access to it. So I will play Crosswind when I get access. I was gonna stream it, but I can't do that. Project Zomboid? Honestly, I've never played that. I don't even have. I was looking if I had it here in my games. I don't think I've ever touched that game. I've heard Crosswind is fun though, but it's not an MMO. So originally, Crosswind was advertised as an MMO. At least that's what I saw, and now it's not. It's a I don't even know what do they even call it. Now it's just called a survival adventure game. So I guess the MMO title was wrong. Maybe it got mislabeled or something, I'm not sure. But I was very interested in watching a pirate MMO game because I we don't have one. That would have been really cool. But it's the game still looks fun, so I'll still try it regardless. Not a pirate genre fan. There was an old pirate multiplayer game that I used to play. I don't know the name of it, but you would go around in just ships. Like, I don't think you ever went on foot, but you would have like ship fights in water, and then you would head to different like land areas, and you would like trade for goods and other stuff. I think it was only online, but again, I have no idea what the name of it was. It's been so long. Atlas? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you the name of it. It's I mean, I played this when I was a kid. They want to add an MMO feature like Doom where you can PvP an open area. There's an island called Tortuga where your open world PvP is. Oh, for Crosswood? Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's cool at least. That sounds familiar, but you don't remember it being online? I don't like Sea of Thieves because Sea of Thieves has no game progression outside of cosmetics. I want my games to have real progression in them. If you never level, like if you never get better gear or anything, I don't really see the point of playing that game. I don't know how people like Sea of Thieves. I just don't get it. As soon as I saw the cosmetic only progression, I uninstalled the game because I had it on Game Pass when it first released. Maybe people like that kind of thing, but for me, that just sounds very boring. Should be obvious to you considering I play extraction games too. I like progression in my games. What can I say? You know, you farm 3 hours for a skin. That's all you could farm for. Most of the yeah, all the progression was skins and stuff, right? Adrenaline Online Adventures, bro. What is that? Why do I always hear about some weird? games. Ad. Well, it doesn't pop up in Steam. What the hell are those games? I don't know what those games are. I don't know what those are, Steam, but let's calm down. Yeah, I don't even see that, so. Steam, Steam be recommending me some bangers, I see. Yeah, so Adrenaline Online, is it not on Steam or what? 'Cause I didn't see it. Wait, it's just Evercraft. They just renamed it. That's why I never heard of it. I mean, haven't most people heard of Evercraft? So it's just, why did they rename it? What's the point? Steam recommends you the kinkiest games, you have no clue why. Right. Right. No clue why. Right? I get it. Yeah, I got it. I got it. Oh, Steam. Don't recommend me that game as you hit add to cart and then you hit the private viewing. Set it to where your friends can't see you play it. Right. Right. Of course. Of course. I get it. I get it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Anyway, also, since there's no longer a need to undermine the gear power fantasy, we plan to keep random modifiers in place till someday when new and exciting systems are introduced. These random modifiers will be balanced and enjoyable without being overly restricted, and we maintain on a scale that does not require too many brackets. Wasn't the entire point of SDF removing the modifiers in the first place to make a new system to replace it? Wasn't that the entire point of the season? I mean, I'm not like mad that I'm not mad or surprised that he reverted the system, but it is a little bit surprising to see that like, are we, and he says someday. Like, when are we gonna get new systems, man? Like, is this really gonna happen in my lifetime, or is this gonna happen, you know, you know, 50 years in the future? I just don't I just don't understand. I feel like they've been working on stuff for so long and nothing ever happens. I mean, do you guys remember the skill trees? The skill trees that on Dark and Darker used to show up as like in progress, and then we got multi-classing, and then the multi-classing failed, and it was just kind of a lazy way to try to like skip over the whole tree progress, and we just never got it, you know? Yeah, the training page, yeah. Yeah, that thing. You don't think people will come back if they don't bring back solos? Well, some people are. The player count, you can see it here. So June 30th to July 7th, we gained about an average of what, 1,000 players just from the addition of gear modifiers. But yeah, if you want a big player jump, it's not happening without solos because solos are a very large majority of the player base. So yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Dude, where is my freaking Goblin Cave hell? Where is my down portal for Goblin Caves? Where the hell is that, guys? What the heck? Fun fact, I asked for a red portal in Goblin Caves back when the Discord used to have a recommended area. Is it still here? You guys remember the discussion or the feedback? No, not here. It's probably gone now. There is an old message from me in the Dark and Darker channel when you used to be able to add suggestions to the game itself, and I asked for red portals for Goblin Caves. This was over 2 years ago, probably. I don't know where it is anymore, but it was here somewhere. Yeah, Goblin Cave down portal should have been a thing a long, 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 long time ago. Yeah, it really should have been. I'm surprised it never did. No, guys, no. I'm not saying that Goblin Caves had a down portal. I'm saying yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I suggested for Goblin Caves to have a down portal a long time ago. Another fire drama stream? Yeah, MS, I'm just bored. All the I mean at this point I've done all the games that I wanted to play. Like all the play tests are over, you know? Naraka was the final game option that I had that I thought of, but it doesn't have solos for extraction mode, and it's also not a very popular Western game, so it's not really worth playing because there's no solos, and it's not like if it had solos, I'd probably still play it, but it doesn't, so it just is what it is. Nobody's talking about Ice Hell as a 5x5. You know why? Because they added 5x5 Hell in a season that a lot of people don't care about because of the changes that happened. They added it at a time that they removed solos, duos, and gear at the same time. So when you make bad changes, it overlaps stuff that would be good, you know? Adding the extra hell, the ice hell area is cool. And it probably would have been talked about and praised if they didn't remove solo, duo, and gear, right? Have they ever said that they were going to work on it? I'm not sure. You know what else is kind of crazy? Oh my god. Why there's so many SDFs in the freaking Discord chat. Look at this. Look at all the freaking SDFs. Do you guys remember? Oh my god, I wonder if I'll be able to find it. It was a long time ago. Hold up, give me a second. I bet I can find it. It's not. You know what? Maybe I should search from new. Hold up, give me a sec. If I do solo, it might come up. I'll just tell you because I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. There is a quote in here from SDF, unless he deleted it. There is a quote in the Discord channel where SDF mentions that he was going to balance the game based on solos, so like the dungeons themselves. And it just never happened. You guys remember this comment he made? I'm not crazy. I know he said it somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know where it is. For all I know, someone, replied to it and then he deleted it because it never happened. Oh, wait. Is this it? Here it is. I can't believe I found it. April 9th, 2024. The monster density of each dungeon will be slightly adjusted when playing solo. SDF claims that the game is not balanced for solo, yet they never gave any effort to balancing the game for solo, and they even said they were going to. They never made any effort to it. I mean, it's his own words, right? It's here. I knew I wasn't going crazy. I knew he said it somewhere. You know? Just saying. Just put it out there. Kitchen Reviews is your favorite comedy podcast. I'm glad I could give you some entertainment, AMG. Appreciate it. Glad to hear. That's what happens when I'm bored out of my mind. We just stream and ramble about Dark and Darker. You heard Dark and Darker is shitting the bed lately? That is an understatement. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is not going very well for them. I thought about maybe loading up the game today and just playing PvE because I'm curious what the gear modifiers are like. Because that was one of the big key changes that I said that I really didn't like was the modifiers. So what I'm curious of is if the modifiers are even good enough that if they add solos, I'll even care or not. I wish I could play solos and actually, play the game. That would be nice, but I think the teaming up function is trash, so I would never do it personally. And I also don't want to fight trios, so it's like, just don't really. I'm not gonna like play like the PvP mode. But he already flip flopped on the PvE, so I would maybe consider it. It would only be if I'm really bored though. They were gonna remove adventure mode. They were planning to. Yeah, they were supposed to remove adventure mode entirely, and I don't think it was supposed to come back, but they just didn't remove it for some reason. You don't think they'll bring it back? Which thing specifically, Callum? You mean solos? Because adventure mode was supposed to be gone, but he reverted that change a while back. Well, solo and trios is definitely not fun. Well, it's maybe fun for the trio players because they can just free kill solos. But that's probably about it. This whole friendly VR chat teaming up in PvP games is making me want to go play a battle royale. You didn't come to play VR chat, you came to kill things. Lich, are you referring to Dark and Darker, or are you referring to Legacy's revive enemy player thing, or something else? Which one specifically are you looking at? Out of curiosity, SDF said they have multiple things up his sleeve. Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure SDF has multiple things up his sleeve. Referring to both. Yeah, I'm with you on both sides, by the way. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give my hot take since I don't really care. I think that PvE mode in general does not belong in these extraction games because I think there are a lot of PvE games already out there that do PvE way, way, way better than these companies are doing. Maybe it's because I haven't seen a company do PvE well that's also been PvP in this genre. But for me personally, if I want to play PvE, I'm not gonna go play like Mistfall Hunter if they added a PvE mode, right? I'm gonna go play Dark Souls or Elden Ring or Sekiro or something, right? I'm gonna play a game and I'm gonna play a PvE game, which there's thousands of that do games way, way, way better than these games do because they feel half-assed. Dark and Darker's PvE mode is not good. They didn't really put enough effort into it, in my opinion. And as a result, it makes the original game suffer by far. Games are different. Yeah, they are different. These games are made for PvP. They're not PvE games. Like PvE games are just so much better. I don't understand why you would play a half-assed PvE mode in a PvP game. Chroma Tower is not bad, but it's boring because there's no PvP. And like that kind of game, it needs PvP because there's no story. There's nothing there. I just don't get it. This is probably a hot take, but I don't that's fine. I just don't understand. Because there's so many better PvE games out there that you could play. I just don't get it. I don't understand what the purpose is of spending all of this development time on a PvE mode when your entire game is balanced and made for PvP. You know? That's all I'm getting at. You know, like it's not like they have a full storyline or something. They don't. So I don't know. I do understand that Tarkov's PvE mode did draw some players in, but I think Tarkov PvE mode, correct me if I'm wrong, there's a pretty good amount of content in that. Am I correct? So Tarkov kind of got away with it, but I think that's because they spent a lot of time and effort getting it to the point that it is. But these PvP games, they're trying to add PvE in a way where it almost feels lazy, you know? Well, just to be clear, it's too late for Dark and Darker to remove PvE. They've already added it. You can't remove it now because it's already been done, right? It's way past the point of no return for that. However, that said, I don't think it should have ever been added in the first place, seeing how SDF and Iron Mace treated the PvE mode itself, you know? And I can even say that it's very clear because SDF doesn't even like the PvE mode. He wanted to remove it. I mean, he said it himself in the kitchen chat. You know, they don't even have plans to really like make the PvE mode good. So I don't understand why they added it in the first place, you know? I mean, I don't know about you, but having a PvE mode where random people can join my game and I can't interact with them and they can steal my loot and it's more of a fighting other players for boss loot and like chess simulator just doesn't sound fun at all. You know, if I was gonna play Dark and Darker PvE, I would expect my own server, not being with a bunch of random people that can grief me. You know, bro. You know what else? You know what would help new players learn the game? A tutorial. You don't need a PvE mode to teach a new player how to play the game. Dark and Darker never even tried to teach new players how to play the game. They never added a single tutorial to the game. There's nothing there. Iron Mace gave zero effort to teaching new players. They didn't even try. So how can anyone say that new players are struggling to learn Dark and Darker or you know PV helps them learn when Iron Mace themselves never taught them in the first place? Like just add a tutorial. I don't understand. You know, I just don't get it. Also, again, if Iron Mace really wanted to add PvE, I would have just said I think just releasing it as a solo slash co-op offline off server that would have been better too. You know, it's not that they added PvE, it's that they did it in the worst possible way, and as a result, it also hurt the main game because it's very obvious that it probably delayed other things that could have been added to like help the main game. Although it might not have mattered, seeing as how seeing as what SDF has done over the last few months, so it might have been a moot point. But considering even SDF wanted to remove the PvE at this point anyway, it feels like it never should have been added in the first place. But at this point it's already added. You know? Having a main selling point of a season being adventure mode and then trying to remove it from the game a few months later, that just sounds like a rug pull to me. They already rug pulled anyway, so I guess they might as well just add to it. You know, they already rug pulled their solo and duo players. But we shouldn't be encouraging these companies to do things like that. Like basically trying to sell the game as a product and then completely changing slash rug pulling what was originally being sold. Just ends up with a lot of people wasting their money for a game that they didn't want in the first place, you know? I've seen some Dark and Darker lunatics say that the game should not have a tutorial because they want new players to struggle, which I think is insane. I think tutorials are one of the most important thing for these games, personally. You know what? I'm gonna go a step further and tell you exactly what I think would be a better system than adding a PvE mode like Dark and Darker did. I think Dungeon Stalkers did it better. Even if you don't like Dungeon Stalkers, which is fine, I think having a like a lower dungeon where you can't lose your gear, but you only lose your items in your inventory, kind of like a what do you even call it? Like an extraction light, I would call it. I actually think that was more fun because you get to practice PvP and you don't have to keep regearing yourself, but you still have the fear of losing the stuff that you loot. I personally think that would have been a better system than PvE. Because then all these new players could learn how to PvP. I think it's that simple. Honestly, that was probably the best thing about Dungeon Stalkers. That system is really good. You know, love it or hate it, it doesn't matter. The system itself is good. What Squire is for? Well, no, because Squire gear is only white gear. Dungeon Stalkers mode let you use gear that wasn't just, you know, basic white rarity. So it's different. No tutorial. People are insane gatekeepers. They only harm the game. That needs a ton of intuitive mechanic guides for new players. Oh, I agree with you. Yeah, I don't particularly like the people that are trying to gatekeep new players by lack of tutorial. It doesn't make sense to me. You love it though, right? Trey, what do I love? What do I love, Trey? Do you mean Dungeon Stalkers? Dude, Dungeon Stalkers got some crazy assets for sure. The Dungeon Stalkers is crazy for sure. For sure. Hey, it releases August 12th or 13th or something. So we got 4 weeks. And then we can get the great graphics back that this game had to offer. So looking forward to that for sure. But yeah, PvP Light and Dark and Darker would go so hard instead of the PvE mode. That would have been such a good idea. Why is it that all of these other extraction games have better quality of life and cooler features than Dark and Darker has? Dungeonborn had private servers, like private matches, which is something I've been asking for in Dark and Darker for years, and we never got it. Still don't have it, by the way. Dungeon Stalkers has the Extraction Light, which is a really cool idea. Mistfall Hunter has solos that have actual balancing based on mobs. Midnight Walkers has what does Midnight Walkers have that's like unique? I think the game is just fun personally, but I don't know if they have like a unique specific mechanic that I could name. I'm trying to think. Do they have anything specific? Not really. Yeah, not that I can think of. Well, there's one thing, but it's not out yet. Midnight Walkers has a PvE mode planned, but the developer a while ago, I forget where it is, it's in Discord somewhere, said that his plans for the PvE mode is for it to be a separate mode. I think akin to like Tarkov. So we shouldn't have to worry about people going to PvE, just to farm for PvP. You know what? Honestly, the best part about Midnight Walkers, the most fun, is the way the extraction works. The 8 levels, and then the gas closing levels along the way, I think is really cool. It's, you know, that's gotta be, like, that has to be the best thing about Midnight Walkers for me, personally. Oh, the way the extractions work in Midnight Walkers is cool too. Where you can take the portal with you or the extraction pod with you and then move it later into the game. That's also very cool. I agree with you. Blue napkin lady, Reaper, I know you love it. I know you do. I know. Well, that's pretty much what it is. Yeah, oh my god, that's true. I even mentioned that in my video. Guys, oh my god, wait. You know Greed is Good started with an auction house first. Oh, you can't view it anymore unless it's in my hidden games. Bro, even Greed is Good had quality of life before Dark and Darker. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Bro, this trash game that died after like a month had better quality of life features than Dark and Darker. That's crazy. This game died a long time ago, too. Well, Dark and Darker just copied from Nexon, though. I mean, that's really all Dark and Darker is. Honestly, after Iron Mace lost that lawsuit and got pulled from Epic Games, my viewpoint of Iron Mace as the small indie developer company kind of fell. Kind of fell off hard for me. I don't know about you, but I don't think you get sued for $6 million for nothing. So, you know, just a thought. Proven to be false. Did Nexon not take $6 million from Iron Mace? Has that been overturned? Has that ruling been overturned or something? As far as I know, that has not been the case. You don't just pay $6 million for nothing. That's not how that works. It's my favorite lore quote. Not even my quote, it's lore's quote. Notice how all these games we focus on PvP and loot aspect. PvE is a means to the end. Well, which, I don't know about you, but personally, I think PvE is important. And if the PvE sucks, then the game is not really good anyway. Because, like, it's both, right? It's PvPvE. So, the PvP, I think, is the most important part. But the PvE still has to be interesting. And there still has to be some kind of depth to it. You know? Bosses, areas, you know, maybe harder, you know, like, by areas like the down portals are harder, like, I don't know, places to go. You need something, right? Dungeonborn had it because you had the Lich boss and the down portals you could go to. You know, they had options. You need something there. You know, the PvP is the most important, but the PvE still has to matter. You know. Yeah, I'm very confused at how it's literally proven to be false that Iron Mace didn't steal the game because they lost the lawsuit and Epic removed them from the store. So you're gonna have to explain to me how it's been proven to be false because I don't understand. As far as I can see, like Iron Mace is guilty. You know, that's why they had to pay that money back. Hey Gary, well, back is a loose term. They did flip flop the gear brackets, so I considered playing the game. I haven't played in over a month, even though this says last played today. I think it's because I just downloaded the game again. Uh, I really want solos, man. I don't know if I can have fun playing without solos. I thought about playing the PvE mode, but that would only last me for like a couple of days before I got bored for sure. Because PvP is kind of what I like the most about the game, you know. Well, yeah, at the very least, it's undeniable that they took ideas from Nexon while working there, right? Like, I don't think, I think that's undeniable. It's the other way. PvE is way more important. It's just PvP is a lot harder to fine tune. I mean, it's just both, right? PvE and PvP are kind of both equally important. But if one or the other sucks, then they both kind of suffer. Here's the thing. If the PvE sucks, then the PvE players get bored, and then they start to leave the game. And then the people that like to PvP also leave the game because the game is boring because there's no players. So both of them have to be good. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Thanks, Miss. Solos got taken out at the start of the season. Yeah, Solos is gone. The only way to play the game is 1v3s. It really sucks. That's why I haven't played the game in so long. I mean, if other people want to play solo versus trio, that's fine. Good for them. But I personally have fun playing 1v1s, not, you know, range kiting 1v3s and trying to win those. That's just not really fun for me. I enjoy 1v1 fights that are fair. You know, I'm not trying to play 1v3s personally. Doesn't really sound fun to me. And with the addition of the removal of nameplates, I don't even want to play teams anyway. Why would I want to play teams without nameplates? I have no interest in that. I didn't like the change when it happened a year ago, and I don't suddenly like it now. The nameplate change is brain dead. I don't know what he's thinking. He basically hurt trios by trying to make it better for solos, but it's still not good for solos anyway. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I mean, we already have PvE extraction games, though. We have so many PvE modes out there already. Like, do we really need PvE modes in these games? I think the extraction light idea was better than PvE. Do you disagree with that, Quirf? Were you here when I mentioned the extraction light idea, or the, well, you know what Dungeon Stalkers has? I think that would work really well in Dark and Darker. So thanks, Miss. It's funny. The reason that solos got removed and duos was because they wanted to reduce queue size, like the number of like areas that people were queuing into. So as a result, the entire player base left the game. So now the queues are gone, and they don't want to balance around solo. So the queues are now gone, but because the whole player base left the game because of that change, or a lot of it did, you know, you're talking 80% from like last season. It doesn't really matter that the queue size was removed because, well, who cares? Because now the lobbies are going to be dead anyway because you're losing the same number of players, right? The extra queues aren't really you're not benefiting from them because if you have less players, then it doesn't really matter that you have less queues than you used to because it still ends up being the same player to queue ratio regardless, you know. My haircut? Bro, I haven't cut my hair in a while, but I did shave. Thanks. Why though? Because they want to save money on servers. It should be obvious. Of course. It's all about money. They're probably trying to save money on servers, but as a result, they're going to make less money because the players aren't there anymore. Right? I mean, I would imagine that would be the case. I would think so, at least. Grab a crosswind key? Bro, I don't have a crosswind key. I would play crosswind if I had it. I don't have a crosswind key. They never gave one to me. Go get me a crosswind key and we'll play the game. Yeah, they never, I don't know why they never gave me one. I guess they hate me. I'm still waiting, so. Dark and Darker's old news anyway. Well, yes and no. Yes, in that I agree with you. No, as in we're still waiting for the other competition games that come out for the next couple months. So until the competitor games come out, it doesn't even matter anymore. Bought the new Stash expansion. I never bought anything from Iron Moose. I never bought a single thing. Alright, I want to take a look at the roles, by the way. I guess we'll load up this game. I haven't looked at it in over a month. But I want to see what the roles are like. I'm curious. Because if the roles are bad, then I don't know if it'll really matter if they add solos back or not. I'm fiending. I wouldn't call it fiending. It's more like boredom. Bro, it's gonna take so long to load. Because I haven't played it in so long. I want to see what the roles are like. That was one of the biggest changes I wanted to see flip-flop, so should make sense. No, duos is gone too, don't worry. Solos and duos are gone, don't worry. Yeah. Both dead and gone. There's only one W thing that Iron Mace has done in the last 3 months that doesn't involve flip-flopping their bad decisions, and that was the Chaff Games thing. Chaff Games, people being able to, you know, actually get their accounts back, that is probably the only W thing that they've done. New patch notes from Rift Traversal? What do you mean? Unless it has solos, I'm not sure if it matters, though, to be honest. The no solos thing was kind of killing the game for me. Wait, why are my levels still here? Shouldn't I have been reset? Never change, Iron Mace. Never change. Good game. W game. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Iron. Oh my god. This game is something else sometimes. It was a mini wipe, so it didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize that. I realized that now. Are we gonna crash again, or are we good? Okay. Well, let's take a look at what they've been doing over the last month. Give me a second. Get my game capture on so you can actually see it without the display. Okay. So what did they do while I was gone? How do I... Can I check the gear rolls without playing? Is the question. I might have to play a PvE game in order to see the gear rolls. Don't I? I don't think I can see it by default because I have to have a piece of gear, right? Like a piece of green gear or something. Because that's what I'm most interested in seeing. Go to market. Oh, right. Because they didn't, oh, you're right. Yeah, but I want to see it from the, I would prefer to see it from the gem socketer. I guess this is an okay way to do it, though. Clip it? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if I call myself back. I don't know if I go that far. Oh, you're right. I can go to random attribute. Okay. So let's see. Truth is... Okay, so truth is only on weapons now. Okay. There's no all attributes. So we have action, speed, armor, damage. Is it basically the same? What do the action speed rolls look like for this season? So, what, 1% action speed rolls? What was last season's, go to trade? What do you mean, like, trade? I don't have any gold for trading. I can't even, like, I would take green gear from somebody if I could, but I don't have any gold. Yeah, so from what I'm seeing, it's basically the same as last season, right? The difference is that there's no all stats. True damage doesn't roll on every piece of gear. So if you have a full set of gear from last season, you would have true fizz on what? You'd have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the cloak. So now you can only get true fizz on the weapon. But the weapon didn't used to be able to roll true fizz. So technically speaking, you're only losing out on 2 true fizz, right? Because you used to be able to have it on 4 different slots, and now you only get it on 2 for the weapon. And then you have the Frost Amulet here. That would give you another 3. Movement speed is only on Lantern. Wait, only on Lantern? Do boots not roll movement speed rolls? Wait. Wait, are there actually no movement speed rolls? No, there is no, like, there's no speed. Does it? No, there's no speed. There's no, like, let's look at a pair of you know, adventure boots. Actually, I mean, there's agility. If you count agility, I guess. But there's no movement speed rolls anymore. Look, they're gone. Yeah, so you can roll agility. So what, +2? Is that the max? Yeah, so you can roll 2 agility, but that's it. What does agility give you? Agility gives you... Is it 0.3 speed per agility? Or 0.4? Somewhere in that range? The lantern doesn't roll movement speed, it's a built-in stat. Oh, is that how that works? Oh, okay. Wait, doesn't this make speed cleric more viable? Well, I guess there's no solos, so it doesn't matter. If and when solos comes back, which will probably be in the next few weeks, I'm guessing, based on the flip-flopping SDF has been doing, this will just be super good, right? Need a shield in the meta? Oh, is DP Smite Cleric? You think that's not gonna be like good enough? If solos come, I'm talking about a solos come back, just to be clear. Is the you think the stats are different? Like you need a shield, you think? Well, just to be clear, I wouldn't have even re-downloaded the game if it wasn't for the fact that SDF is already starting to revert the changes that he deleted in the first place. Because, just saying. Also, what the? Wait, did they increase armor values? Wait a second, hold up. That's new. I know for a fact that champion armor did not have 100 armor. I know. I know my champion armor had like 76 armor or something. Nowhere near that high. One agility is roughly 1 speed. I thought 1 movement speed was slightly higher than an agility. They added base armor? Wait, but the difference between gray armor and legendary armor is barely any different. Wait, so gray armor is 100, but legendary is 108? That's barely any difference. Are you telling me that before the random roll change, the armor value, like, bro, it's like barely any different. Look at the visored Saleh. $54? Holy hell, that's a lot. That is a lot of armor. So can you still roll armor? 5 armor, huh? How about PDR rolls? Okay, well those are useless. Wait. Oh my god. Bro, Lizard is probably so bad. Oh my god, you just know. You know the Lizard users are mad. Bro, you take Lizard skin and you miss out on like 85% of your stats. Oh, you know. Oh man, you just know. He is struggling? I bet. How, dude, how is going 66 armor? Oh my god, that's crazy. It's so many. Jesus. Oh my god, this is nuts. All right, what other things do we got to look at? How do they do daggers? What are we doing with those? How are they looking? 18. That looks kind of low, right? Legendary Chris does 20 damage. That's it? Shouldn't Legendary Chris do like 24? Somewhere in that range? That sounds really low. Am I wrong? Why is that so low? I don't understand. Hey, Killer, welcome. Good evening, good evening. Oh my god, I'm having a brain blank. What's the dude's name that plays only Lizard besides Pete? I can't believe I forgot it. I can't believe I'm like drawing a blank here. I know his name. I'm not stupid. I've talked to him a lot. I'll find it. It won't take me long. Oh my god. I know his name. Why am I being so stupid? Sparky. That's it. I don't know why I couldn't think of Sparky. Yeah. Sparky, I know he only plays. Yeah. You got it. Yeah, you guys know. Yeah, I've talked to him a bit. He's a cool guy. I know that he is a huge. I don't know. I know he's big on lizard skin only. So he cannot be liking these changes, right? There's just no way. I feel kind of bad for him because I know he really like he goes full RP on this lizard thing. So I know he's got to be kind of upset. Check the crafted gear. Okay. Hey, Queets, I'm doing okay, man. I saw they added gear rolls back to the game, so I'm bored enough to reinstall Dark and Darker. Although I still desperately want my solos to come back. Okay, so 30 armor, 3 agility, 4 dexterity. I mean, those look pretty good, right? What's the difference between those and cloth pants? You here for the flip-flop? Bro, I am so bored that I'm here for the flip-flop. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Disappointed in myself. I'm gonna cancel myself, honestly. That's just how bored I am. What can I say? It's not my fault. It's not my fault, guys. The playtest games, they're all over. It's not my fault. I want to play Midnight Walkers or Mistfall Hunter, Arc Raiders. I want to play these games, but I can't. They're not available. I have to come back to my ex. I mean, at least they flip-flop the gear, but god damn it. They should have canceled me? Yeah, guys, I lied. I made a whole Dark and Darker goodbye video. No, that video was true. That Dark and Darker video has sentimental value to me regardless. Because the game will never be the same that it used to be. It's true. I stand by my video. It still has meaning to me. I'm gonna hate 1v3. Bro, I know. Dude, I might just play PvE. Bro, I would get so bored if I do that, though. Hey, brother, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, man. Birthday subs? Love you. I appreciate it, man. Am I gonna play? No one likes PvE? No. How does the game look, by the way? So it's artifact in both, right? MS. That's what I said earlier. Wait, are you parroting what I said, MS? Or were you not here when I said that? I said that exact same thing. I said this game never should have added PvE. Instead, they should have added a big tutorial for new players, and they should add an extraction light mode that lets new players learn how to PvP. But at this point, it's too late. At this point, it's too late, though. You can't... So here's the thing. You can't remove PvE. It's already added. So if you think PvE should get removed from the game, I'll never agree with you. Because that's basically... Like, that you might as well be, like, rug pulling the game. However, new players, instead of adding like a bad PvE, because Iron Mace, quite honestly, I think did it kind of half-assed. Instead of doing that, you know, they could have just added a good tutorial. I don't know, man. Just some thoughts. I'm just rambling. Well, that's the thing, right? That's what I'm saying, TJ. At this point, even if I don't care about PvE, enough players have bought the game for PvE that I would not ever advocate for removing it, because that's ridiculous, you know? But in the first place, I don't think it ever should have been added, and they should have just focused on the game itself, and maybe we wouldn't be in such a bad spot right now. But it's already added, so it is what it is. Alright, well, are we gonna go die to some trios? I can't wait. It's gonna be a blast. Can't wait to play this great game and die to trios. Sounds fun. Or we could just play PvE and not die to trios, but they're both bad. They're both bad options. Play with randoms? I can invite randoms from chat. Does anybody want to join me for some normal Goblin Caves? I can invite you guys, I guess. Anyone want to join? You're loading up? Alrighty, sounds good, sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I mean, don't mistake this. I don't like trios. But, you know, we'll do it just for you guys, I guess. I know that you guys have been around for a while, yeah. Foresaw this coming? Well, if it wasn't for the gear bracket changes, I wouldn't have reinstalled the game, just to be clear. Hates people? It's not that, it's that I think solo gameplay is more fun than trios. I know you've been around for a while, Brandon. I know. Trust me. I'm aware. Alright, so if you're joining me, tell me what your game tag is. Smash the door? Alright. Let me find you. Maybe you should add me instead. Yeah, Rez, I'm bored. I can't quit Dark and Darker until Midnight Walkers comes back. Midnight Walkers will 100% replace this game for me, but it's not in playtesting anymore. Yeah, the gaming scene is literally dead. There is not a single other Extraction game to play. It's actually so tragic. The gaming scene for Extractions is down bad. It's so bad. It's so sad. There's nothing else to play. Yeah, the only reason I'm even willing to play this game is because they reverted the gear changes and they didn't remove PvE. But yeah, trust me, I'm not happy. I'm still not happy. Hey, Brandon, I don't see you. So... sent me a friend request. Okay, let's see. Ah, there you are. Alright, I have room for one more player. So if you want to join we're gonna play some games. I won't be on for long, by the way. I'm leaving around, I think I need to be off by like 3. because I'm heading out. So, got a little bit, like an hour or so. Guys, it's my birthday. It's not a date. I'm going out with some family. It's You ever hear of a place called Kobe? It's a hibachi grill. I'm going there. Guys, it's not a date. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Alright, Smash. It might just be us. No, SDF hasn't reverted his solo change yet, but he did revert the gear change. So, I'm back to play it for a little bit because I'm bored. You can invite people mid-match if they solo. Add you. Nah, so you didn't give me a name. How can I add you if you don't give me a name? Alright, last chance. I'm about to start the game. If someone doesn't send me a friend request in the next 1 minute, I'm just gonna start. So, here's your chance. Hey, Mix, thank you for the 20 dono. I appreciate that. I'm glad you like the content, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. I said anybody can join. Anybody can join. But... Yeah, we're like the dad refugees. We're all just bored. We're all just bored. Alright, that's fine. I'm just gonna play, I guess we'll get a random third, so that's fine, I guess. I mean, if they want to kill me for my grays, I guess that's fine. You're trying to get in on that hibachi? Okay, I don't think this is an open invitation, guys. It's not an open hibachi invitation. It's not like that. Silly. What the heck, guys? Nah, no, dude, I got the plans. I got the plans. Today I'm going to hibachi, or Kobe, with, some of my brothers, sisters, and, my grandmother. We're doing that. Then tomorrow I'm going to a steakhouse with my dad. So, got all those plans in motion. Nasku. Isku. Chill out, busy guy? Yeah, I know. Morton's? No, just Outback. Alright. Oh, I don't even have ale, because I'm too broke to buy it. Nice. Wait. Whoa, wait. I thought there were no nameplates anymore. Wait, hold up. Someone's gonna have to... I'm confused. I thought there were no nameplates. Oh, it's HR only? Oh, so I just need to never play HR. Got it. Okay. Okay, I just won't play HR then. Okay, thank God. The no nameplate shit is... That just sounds terrible. Alright, that's good. I wonder if this guy needs this. Wait, why did I just replace that? I was not aware it was only an HR thing. Rossell, that's how down, bad, and bored I am. Pretty crazy, right? Well, I've played every single playtest that is currently available, and I do plan to transition away to those games officially, but I can't do it till they release. So for now, I'm like just stuck. There's nothing else to play. It is what it is, pretty much. First bandage? What the hell was that? Okay. They backtracked on the name change because people didn't like it. Well, yeah, I was confused. I was expecting no nameplates. They nerfed the range on Morningstar? Oh, they did? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Dude, the absolute drought of games right now was insane. It's so sad. Truly. Yeah, I mean, yeah, believe me, if you think I woke up and thought to myself, like, wow, I really, really want to play Dark and Darker. You know? Not quite, but there's just nothing else to play, so it just kind of is what it is, you know? I mean, just to be clear, I do like Dark and Darker. It's not like I don't like this game, you know? Don't let my, my talk fool you. This is still one of my favorite games of all time. It's just being ruined by, yeah, it's just being ruined. Actually, you know what? Spread the word to the lore. Someone tell the lore that if he wants to play, some normals Dark and Darker with me, I'll play with him. He might be up for that. He's been asking for a while to play some more. Yeah, if there's anybody that I would want to play any games with, Thor would definitely be on that list. You're loading up? Oh, are you, Ranger? Did you download the game just for me? That's crazy. That's crazy. Dude. Tarkov? I don't even like Tarkov, man. I don't know what it is about that game, but I just can't get into it. And Hunt Showdown is kind of the same way. Something about it just doesn't really hit. Back on Dark and Darker? Yeah. Begrudgingly, yeah. I'm here for the recent update. The gear change update. I would still really, really like it if they added solos to the game, but it sounds like SDF is close to adding solos back, so I'll just have to, you know, bide my time. You're level 2? I don't care. Yeah, that's fine. It don't matter to me one way or the other. Well, you know, I do find it funny. Sometimes people will ask, well, people will just assume that I hate the game. Which I guess I can understand a little bit, because I do shit on it all the time. But, my love for Dark and Darker is greater than my dislike for SDF, if that makes sense. That, am I saying that right? You know, like, my opinion of SDF's flip-flopping and the removal of game content is definitely not what I would prefer. Far from it, in fact. But, you know. But at the end of the day, I'm still, I still really like the game genre, so until another competitor comes around, it kind of just is what it is. Bonk the doors? I forgot you can break. Yeah, because I can break them with my weapon, right? Forgot about that. It'll take some time to get used to that. Oh, I definitely don't blame you. Honestly, if it wasn't for stream, I would never install this game. I don't know where he went. Elevator? Wait, isn't M my map? Oh, over here. What's next, Crypts? No, Arena doesn't really interest me. Did you see that what they did the chat down below? Oh. Yeah, what can I like get, yeah, is that like a hide? Can I get rid of it now? Because I had to turn my chat off at some point because I was getting spammed the N-word from some freaking degen. God. I'm gonna have to play Dark and Darker again for like over a month, aren't I? God, it's true. There's not gonna be anything else to play for over a month. Oh boy. Alright, well, buckle in, boys. Shit. I don't know if are we fighting this wizard? Not really. I don't have any meds. Would have fought him. Remember, I'm level 1, or not level 1, but I have no meds. I should probably just reset so I can buy ale and stuff. I think that's more important than, you know, that's probably the most important thing I can do. I need to get one extraction so I can buy ale and shit. All right, Ranger, you join him? You can clear the logs. Oh, that's good. Cool. Mixed wall. Oh, that's gotta be Ranger. Okay. Give me a minute. Let me sell my stuff real quick. Check the movement speed, penalty of Viking helm, padded leggings, and northern tunic. Oh. Does higher rarity gear have a different movement speed penalty? Movement speed. -3. No, I don't think it does, right? It's all the same. Yeah, I don't think the movement speed's any different. Yeah, I know the base stats are different. Didn't Legendary used to give you only +5 stats, or am I mistaken? Or maybe it was +6 for Legendary. Looks like it's slightly higher. Oh, do you mean the max movement speed? Oh, you're right. It is lower. You're right. It is. Because padded leggings were -4 speed. Okay, I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying. You're right. They did change that. Oh, padded legging is the same movement speed as loose trousers. That's a good change. Loose trousers, yeah, I think that's good. Well, at least we can say something positive. That's nice, at least. Well, the new modifiers aren't new. Just to be clear. They just brought them back. I don't know if I don't know if I quite call them new, but I don't really know what the new meta stats are. Remember, I haven't played the game in... Has it been over a month? I might have to check my freaking YouTube channel. It's been a while. I think the last time I played the game was shortly after they removed solos from normals. Very shortly after was when I stopped playing this game. It's been over a month. I've done Dark and Darker streams of, like, drama, but I have not played the game. I know about the true damage on weapons, yeah. I'm aware of that. Oh, are dashing boots finally worth wearing? Because of the increased armor? Oh, 8 movement speed versus 5? Oh, but this is 3 agility, though. Yeah, but that has 4 agility. Yeah, I don't think that's worth it, right? More armor, I guess. More armor is not bad, but it's a lot of speed. 349. Yeah, it's like 4 speed. No way that's worth it. Yeah, loot does seem better. I don't know what they've done to loot, but it does seem like there's more of it. Oh, that might just be from the last season. Than anything else. Turn shoes are the new bis. Oh, really? Alright. Oh, because you can't, it's so hard to get movement speed rolls now? That makes sense. Ow. That hurt. Look how much damage that did. It's a Viking sword, too. Jesus. I think I brought extra meds. Wait, so do people not use adventure boots anymore? Are those out of style, out of season? I'm in normals. That's why I play solo, so I don't get smacked. Yeah. I'm sure it was an accident. I was wondering if that would take away the slow. It does not. You know, there is one good change that this season has over the last season. And that's that normals is not only white gear, so I can actually wear the gear that I'm bringing in, and I'm not having to store everything into my stash. Which shouldn't have even ever been a problem in the first place, because, you know, they kind of calls that, but... that is at least nice. Surprised we haven't seen any people yet, though. Are our games dead? I mean, I guess not. Guilty has a lot of players, but... oh, wait. That could probably use that, right? Well, it's not like there's not players in my game. You can see the kill feed. We have 7 players that are dead. Go to troll Cyclops. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea. So this is Cyclops. You know, that's a good question. I don't know if they've improved blocking. I haven't really gotten to test it out myself. Oh shit, that did a lot of damage. Oh my god, that was so much damage. That was so much HP. Oh my god. I didn't think that would kill me. I thought I was okay. Oh my god. I didn't think it was that much. That 200% was crazy. Holy shit. Yeah, that headshot was nuts. Survive in the water? Oh! It's too late now, but you're right, I forgot about the water. I mean, it's already done, but you're right, that would have been better. Yeah, I don't remember, I don't really know about the modules. I know Goblin Caves, but I don't know the modules. Dude, that headshot damage was crazy. If I knew it was gonna be that high, I would have kept healing. Not used to 200% goddamn damage. That's crazy. No way someone showed me a video by me, now you fight me in dungeon. It's funny how things work sometimes, right, son? I died though. I got killed by the parry. Or not parry, though, a longsword hit. The way I said son made it sound like I was referring to him as son, like S-O-N. Oh, that's funny, no. Maybe I just said it funny. Where was it? This way, right? Wait. Where did I die? Oh my god. It was this one, right? This down here? Yeah, I think it was over there. Sure. Pretty sure that's where it was. Might as well just loot what I can. Kind of broke, so I'll just take whatever. Dude, I just can't believe that headshot damage was crazy. Gotta take the I gotta take these headshots more seriously. Dad? Yeah. Funny. It was kind of funny, though. Isn't White Morningstar better? You know, probably. Someone said that they nerfed the Morningstar range, though, so I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna be real with you. Dad is not really worth playing unless you like playing Trio. If it wasn't for stream, I would not be playing this game. But the gear revert is what got me to play it again. If it wasn't for the gear, I would not be playing for sure. Oh, I just shut the chest. Oops. It's funny. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, there is a big drought of games at the moment. Believe me, I'm all ears. Tell me what other extraction PvP game I can play right now that would be able to replace Dark and Darker gameplay-wise. It's a trick question because I know the answer is none. Because I checked myself. Countless. I checked the depths of Steam for any game that would work. I tried. I really did. That's how I found Naraka Blade Point. Well, part of it, because people from chat told me to, but I researched it a bit. But there is nothing. It is empty, guys. It's gone. There's nothing to play. So it's what it is. It is what it is. Dart killing? Bro. Dart killing is, the game looks abandoned, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I wasn't planning to play. Well, there's nothing else to play, and they already started reverting the patches from last patch, so. I'll be off the game again once the other games come out for sure. Having an Naraka? The game just isn't really popular in the West. It's not a popular game, unfortunately. Kind of wish it wasn't the case. But that's not the only reason I'm not playing it, FYI. It's the fact that it doesn't have solos for the new mode. If it did, I would play it. But yeah, I'm literally out of games to play. There are 0 other extraction games at this point out. So it's either I play Dark and Darker or I don't stream at all. Those are basically the 2 options. There were no in-betweens. That's how down bad the extraction game state is right now until the end of the year. So, what can I do? What can I do? However, I will say if it wasn't for the gear, you know, the addition of gear rolls back, I probably still would not be playing this, even with that in mind. It's only because of the gear revert that it even made me want to download the game again. That's it. Pretty much. Check out Turn Shoe on the market. Yeah. They expensive. 300 for a base legendary. I don't know what prices are like right now, so I don't really know if that's high or not. Oh, Turn Shoe's cheaper than Adventure Boots. It's not too bad. I guess it's not. Wait. Oh, turn shoe. Yeah, I guess I'm just dyslexic or something. I misread what you said. Oh, so turn shoe's the new bis. I see. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I just misunderstood. Well, you got to keep in mind that the last time that I talked about Dark and Darker was when they were removing PvE, removing all gear stats, and removing solos. And they've now reverted 2 out of 3 of those already. So you have to keep that in mind. The only thing left for reverting is solos, which, based on what it sounds like, it should be reverted pretty soon. So, what can I do? What can I do or say? You know? Hey, you and I both know that if Midnight Walkers was out right now, I'd be playing that. You already know, Emils. You know. If Hunger, Midnight Walkers, Missile Hunter, or what's it called? Arc Raiders. If any of those 4 games were out right now, I would be playing them. Pure addiction? It's not even addiction. It's just, it's the lack of competition. There's nothing else to play. There's nothing left. I tried. I played every single extraction playtest under the sun. Even the ones that no one else would play. I did everything I could. I played everything, guys. Everything. I tried. I really did. There's nothing else to play. I tried. I promise. I did. It's not like I'm, you know. It's not like I don't want competition to be here, but gotta be realistic, man. There's only so much I can do. It's out of my control. What's the issue now with the random modifiers? So last season, they plan to remove random modifiers, and they flip-flopped that as well. So we already know the solo flip-flop is on its way. Based on SDF's, you know, 2 out of 3 vision failure at this point. We already know what's coming. It's just a matter of time at this point. And if he doesn't, then... Well, I guess, you know, as soon as my other games come out, it's gonna be done. Why not play Fortnite? Yeah, why not, you know? I get it. I didn't contact Hellhammer to leak the source code of Dungeon Board? Yeah, that's true. I guess I forgot about that one. That's true. Well, reason I said I was done with that unless they reverted the changes that they did. And they've already reverted 2 out of the 3 changes, so. Back up. Back up! Oh my god. Back up! I have to heal. I might have misjudged what I could do there. I appreciate him rumbling in. I was hoping he'd back up. Like, shut the door. The slow from Faithfulness didn't quite do what I was hoping it would. One's dead. My teammate. Yeah, I'll focus on contacting Hellhammers soon, right? I'll put that on my list. Wait, what a juke. What a juke. I don't even know where that guy died. Both 1 or 1v1, so that's good. Where is our teammate? I haven't seen his body. Oh, this is him. I don't know where. Oh, we could do the elevator room. Dragon, I don't know if you're aware of this, but he's already reverted 2 out of 3 of the changes that I complained about for this wipe. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the 2 biggest changes, there were 3 big changes. There was solos, gear, like gear stats, and there was PvE. 2 of 3 of them have been reverted already. That is the only reason I'm on this game. I mean, Dragons, out of curiosity, have you been around for all the other extraction content that I've been doing? Like, have you been around for the other 12 extraction games that I played in the last month? Just wondering. Because if you have, then you already know that my channel has mostly moved on already. Wait, Demut, it's your birthday? Today? It's my birthday today. Your birthday can't be today. Today's my day. What the heck? Okay, Dragons, I'm literally just waiting for one of these other extraction games to come out so I can move on completely. But the reversions are pretty much all I can, you know, what can I do? You turned 29? I turned 30 today. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, almost every change has been reverted at this point from the last time that I said I was going to quit Dark and Darker. The only change left is for solos, which SDF has already mentioned, right? 40% of my lifespan? Bro, that's crazy. I'm going to live to, well, to at least 32. So, got that going for us. You just turned 31? How? Man, that's crazy. Freaking old, buddy. Just like me, I guess. Hit my midlife crisis? I wouldn't say that, I'm just bored. I'm just so bored because there's no other extraction games that I want to play. You know? Like, if you think I would choose this game over, like, Midnight Walkers, you're out of your mind, you know? But I don't have that option. Not a whole lot I can do. It's just, this is the only game I can really play for stream, so. It is what it is. You're 31 today? Guess we're all old. We're all old together, huh? You know what? If Apogea was out right now, I would probably play that too. Yep, probably. I have a laundry list of games that I would play over Dark and Darker, but none of them are out, so I have to wait. Pretty much. Let's be real, if I was playing, like, Naraka, like I was playing last night, Dragon wouldn't even be here to complain about me playing Dark and Darker, because he wouldn't be here at all. So, you know, it is what it is. If he wants to be mad at me, that's fine. I can't stop him. Whatever. If you want to watch me play other extraction games, come back in like a month when I start playing other games. Top 3 games. By far, top 3 games. Midnight, Mistfall, Arc Raiders. And I want to add Hunger as my 4th. You know, I heard about Ryan's site, but I haven't checked anything about it. The 30 Club? Yeah, the 30 Club is pretty crazy. I don't feel any different, but it feels like it should feel different, so I don't know. My hair suggests another age? Yeah, my hair would suggest like 20. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Agreed. Didn't play last playtest for Midnight Walkers. This playtest for Midnight was way better than the last playtest, yes. Bro, my hair is gray. I don't, yeah. You're capping for real. My hair is perfect.
Solo.
Join the dark side? Yeah. That's what boredom will do to a man. EP still good? I assume it is. It seems like it at least.
Or not Crips, it's like a...
Okay, where's the boss at? Cyclops is close. Isn't that... that's Troll too, right? Keep hearing about Hunger? No playtest yet, but... there's a lot of hypes around it. Also, in case you're wondering, it's very unlikely that I'll be making any Dark and Darker videos, unless it's like a conversation video. I don't really plan to make any, like, trio, like... I don't really plan to make any Dark and Darker, like, trio content or anything like that. Like, I might make, like, a discussion video on, like, SDF's, you know, patch reversions. But I don't think I'm gonna do any, like, PvP. Unless I use it for background footage. That's true. Roasting me on my birthday is crazy. Of all the days, that's crazy.
We got a team here on the other side of the door.
Well, they're not really randos. It's Mixed Ranger and Brandon. They're not really random. They've been around for a while. Hey, it's SDF's Vision! Trio vs Solo! Come on, dude, just beat us. Just beat the... yeah. Oh, I missed him.
Another poor Solo. Oh, it's mine. Now, buddy.
The Vision! 3v1! Wow. Fun game. 3v1, by the way. Poor guy. Sorry, you didn't load up with your trio? Guess you can't play the game anymore. It's so sad. Oh, it's so sad. These poor solo players. Bro, SDF's gotta flip-flop this shit as soon as possible. He's gotta do it. It's criminal what he's doing to these solo players. Like me. I just don't want to play solo. Messed up. Purely a skill issue on his part, yeah. Should've just killed us all. Nah, do you know what the worst part about no solos is? It's playing as a trio and having to kill solos. I'm not gonna team with them. I mean, that's not what I'm here for, you know. It was the same thing as Dungeonborn back in the day. Same shit. Like I don't want to have to kill solos, but that's what SDF wants, so. What he wants, I guess. Delay revert it. Batwing is 400 gold. Oh, really? Okay. I guess we'll grab it. I guess we'll grab it.
This shit is just so stupid. I mean, like, solos can't play the game. Duos can't play the game.
At least Mixed Ranger knows
When
what's
we get
up.
kills like that, it's like, it feels horrible.
True. Speak to the crowd, Mixed Ranger. The only way I'm making more Dark and Darker content that's actual PvP is if they add solos back. I do not see myself flip-flopping on that one. Oh, there's a team! Oh, good team. Uh, 1v3 is not reasonable to expect from players.
I hit 2 of them, but they're healing up.
It's kind of hard to push in here.
No, it is hard to push. I mean, there's really no point in pushing this.
So bring solos back and stop being a SDF concept. I think it's pretty simple. What? What are you even saying? Did you not just watch my trio run down the solo player or something? Did you not see that? Come on, buddy. Come on. Give me a break. Like, I'm telling you, there's no way my team is ever dying to a freaking super. Like, it's not happening.
They're dead. Boys.
Alright, no, Tyler, real talk. As a trio, I'm not even speaking from a solo perspective. As a trio, there is no way that a solo is going to kill our team. It's not happening. Alright? Like, just no insults, just honest discussion, okay? There is no way a solo is killing my team. Teams in general. It's not happening now. It's not fair for them. It's the biggest problem that this game has without solos being in the game. Like, that's the problem. You know, I should not be able to join a trio and run down solos. It's the same problem that Dungeonborn had before the game died off. Okay? It's the same issue. Not every player is a top 1% player. Are there some people that can 1v3? Yes. Oh, wait, that lantern would be better because of movement speed. Yeah, I forgot about that. I should have grabbed it.
Players.
Yeah, I should have grabbed it. That's my own fault. Ow. I might have to leave. I don't want to leave. Oh, it's...
Hell yeah.
I didn't have a choice. I had no health. I couldn't help. I had like 20%. And we cleared so many teams too. Unlucky. I wasn't gonna leave. I was gonna heal, but they died. That's so sad. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help with like 20 health. Unlucky. Something dropped in Discord. Something important. Not that I can see. You missed me ranting about dad? Well, I'm glad I could fulfill that for you. And that's pretty much all I'm here for. Pretty much. Oh, I already know about the charity stream thing. Okay, I wasn't sure if there was something else that I didn't know. Yeah, that popped up a while ago, though. Yeah, I was just making sure it wasn't something else that I missed. You know, that's another point, too. Whenever I hear people say that 1v3 is fine because you can technically do it, typically it's for one of two reasons. One, it's because the solo player is like a top 1% at the game and he's good, usually playing some kind of range, you know, ranger, maybe warlock, maybe barb. Maybe those three can do it because they're kind of although I think ranger and barb are better choices than warlock, but maybe they can do it too. I don't know what their current game state is like. They used to be able to. Or it's because the trio that you're fighting against is a random fill trio that aren't organized. If you're fighting a competent team of 3, it's really hard to kill them. And if you're not a really good solo player already, you're probably never going to kill them either, you know? A little bit of both. Just my own thoughts. Well, that's the thing, right? If you're really trying to beat a trio, it's just not viable. You know, maybe it's time that I run away from you. Did you kill a team and then the third guy ran off to an exit? Because yes, I did. I was trying to heal to help my team because you got me to like 20 HP. I got mauled by the elemental rock thing, and then I got hit by like a sorcerer spell, and I had like no health. Anyway, I think I might make an updated Dark and Darker like update video on the SDF flip-flop that's going on, the gear changes, and I'll talk a little bit about PvE as well. Because I've been wanting to make a video for a while, but I haven't really had anything to make a video on. Dark and Darker drama is always fun to make, so that seems like a good plan. Well, I wouldn't even want to play HR. I'm not playing without nameplates. That just doesn't interest me. Turn shoe's actually 8 movement speed. The lace one is. Oh, wait. Do you want to hatch it?
Hatch it for you.
Like, bro, can you imagine if I was solo in these lobbies? Can you imagine? Like, there's so many trios in here. It would be miserable, man. There is no part of this game that would be fun if I didn't have a full team of 3. There's nothing here that would be entertaining. I don't know how people do it. I have no idea.
Oh, there's spiders around because they didn't loot anything in a fight. They're at the boss. Below.
You can 1v8 with lag? Oh, okay, yeah, you're bigger. Yeah, you're a stronger man than me, then.
Everywhere.
Well, yeah, even if you win the miraculous 1v3...
Wait, it. On the other side. Oh, he's juiced. Look at his loot. Let's help $5 though.
We're back? Yeah, we're back. I'm bored, so we're back for now. If I had to guess, we'll probably be back until
I don't even need any of that
you know,
good
the
shit
next
on it
available
that I'm
extraction
playing,
game comes out, and you know, we'll be back for that. But
with the halberd though.
For the time being, yeah, not a whole lot of choice here. That's a crazy little ring.
We can still kill a Cyclops.
Well, they weren't lying. They do have good gear. Oh, it was juice, though. I don't know what juice, like, really means for the gear nowadays. Oh.
Thought that the first person we killed got the fire buff. Or am I tripping?
Pretty sure the first person we fought, I think that was, oh.
What the hell was that?
That came out of nowhere.
That dude came out of nowhere. I didn't even hear him.
Literally.
That was pretty funny.
Solo was trying to get our loot.
Well, you know, there is one good thing to come from me playing this game today,
Fire.
and it's that I can make an updated video on, you know, SDF, but also talk about my experience as a trio killing solos for free that have no chance to do anything. Like this guy right here.
See, like, that's a solo who came in with actual loot. Oh, see?
Like, what is a solo supposed to do?
Rock Ranger. Is that a duo?
But yeah, I'm telling you, man. I don't know what these solos are supposed to do. Like, they just die. Like, I don't know, man. It's just lame. It's not fun for solo players to just get shit on because they don't have, you know, they don't have two players with them at all times to play the game. They came out of nowhere.
It's coming, bro. The ball is deep.
Yeah, where's the rat?
Just
Here he is.
1v3? Yeah, just 1v3, bro. Just 1v3. You know best. You know better than me. Yep.
Crossbow if you want it.
You
I
think
don't
we
know,
can kill
man.
the
It's
boss
just
here or something?
I just find it lame, personally. I don't even like fighting solos in trio. Like how is it fun for them? Like, in what way, shape, or form is it ever fun for a solo player to run into a trio? I have no idea. I don't think it's fun. Yeah, Clack, I'm bored out of my mind. There's nothing else to play right now. So I reinstalled Dark and Darker. In Hunt, you can revive as a solo. Yeah, there's nothing like that in this game. You know, yeah, if you're dead, you're dead. You're losing your mind trying to kill a boss on Raka. Can't help you there, man. Bro, if one of these other games were out right now, I wouldn't feel the need to play this game. But there's no other games out, so you know, what can I say? I tried Naraka. Yeah, I played that over the last few days. What brought me back? The gear reverting change is the only reason I decided to come back. That was the main reason, at least. I mean, I did say if SDF flip-flopped, I would play the game again. And I know he's close to reverting solos. You can tell. We all know it. But yeah, if they didn't revert gear, I wouldn't have even bothered. Because I think the no gear shit was really stupid, personally. Like, why would you want gear with no rolls? What's the point, you know? Just silly. Yeah, I've had a bunch of people ask me why I have the, like, why I'm playing the game. And I've said multiple times, you know? I said that if they revert the changes that they were doing from last season, that I would play the game again. And they've reverted 2 out of 3 changes. So, you know, I mean, that's really the answer that you're looking for, I'm guessing. I mean, I don't think you need me to tell you that SDF removing PvE mode and gear rolls were both really stupid. So the fact that they've now been reverted gives me some hope that he'll learn that removing solos was also really stupid. So. Just some thoughts. My first guess, bro, that's a crazy question. High school. Yeah, it was a long time ago. You know, because I guess I'm an unk now. So. What? 13 years ago? Something like that. Can I say something positive about Dark and Darker? I like that the gear rolls are back. So, there's something. I don't know what else I can give you outside of that, but... I'll be back in a minute.
What Tivvies? cake would just stay on the table, bro.
For real. Yo, we need to take Firebox to boss next time he gets on.
That's an angle of being near boss room.
Type of guy to say be right back to stream, but not as party? Bro, they're in the stream. they're here. What do you mean? They can hear me. I think so. Yeah, they're in chat. Yeah, it's Brandon and Mixed Ranger. Well, Loco, I only play it because I'm a streamer. I would never play this off stream. Yeah, if you honestly think I would load up this game by myself and play it in isolation, you're out of your mind. That is the only reason that I'm playing. You know? Yeah, the moment that one of my other games comes out that I actually want to play, you know, we'll move on from Dab. I don't have much choice right now. There's no other games to play. You know? One of the main reasons I quit wasn't just solos, but it was also the gear changes too. Like the gear changes pissed me off to no end, so you know that being reverted is the only reason I even bother.
Cyclops.
Well, I'm a fan of the game, but I'm not a fan of SDF.
Doing this fucking game right now.
Weird take? What do you mean weird take? Someone, Sepser, I was replying to someone on Twitch, FYI. Yeah, I am forever cursed in every game that I play to like games with bad developers, I swear to God. All my favorite games die or just have trash mode. It always happens.
Oh, you have the worst luck with spike traps.
Yeah.
But no, Sepstra, I'm serious. If I didn't stream this game, I would not play it.
Fat finger.
I promise. There would be no reason to.
Look for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy this game, but I only enjoy it while streaming. And that is real talk. Do I play off stream? Not Dark and Darker. I play other games off stream. But never Dad. Dude, I haven't played that off stream in over 2 months. At least 2 months. It's crazy how long it's been, man. It's what can I say?
Door. Over here.
Why do I enjoy it while streaming? Is that not an obvious is that not an obvious question? Because there's a big difference between playing it by myself and playing it while I talk to you guys that are, you know, in chat.
Fighting in here.
There's a massive difference between those two.
Room, there's 2 teams. Is there people back there?
There's a barb past this door.
Freaks turning off the lights.
Fucking freaks. Watch your back, watch your back, watch your back.
By Gooner Saga, you mean Dungeon Stalkers?
This way, this way, this
Yeah,
way. Over here, over
yeah,
here.
Dungeon Stalkers is pretty crazy. Yeah, they're pretty crazy.
Two teams are fighting.
Yeah, I play this on stream to entertain you guys and give me something to do when I'm bored. I think that should be a pretty obvious thing.
Yeah, they're on the other side.
Does not miss.
I basically tanked all those arrows. That was like something out of a movie. I was like the frontliner, and then after he wasted all his arrows on me, I didn't finish it.
He was fucking hitting the shots. Do you have a longbow?
Yeah, it was a longbow.
Longbow.
What's my... I wonder what my voice chat toggle is. I have to check my settings. I think they can hear me from stream, but I'm not entirely
He was a
sure.
gamer, you could tell by his inventory.
Let's see. What is my audio setting? It's V? Ah, I figured out what my VoIP button is. Like, I don't know if you're in my stream or not. There's another guy down here.
The door.
Has 2 separate teams.
Now, one to our right, one through the door.
Chasing a ranger. Alright, well, ranger's dead. Hey, I got more people in.
I'm coming.
It's a rogue. He has cutthroat and I think rupture.
Good throw knives and run. Hey, let's regroup though. Let's regroup.
He's
Ranger
solo.
on me still.
Oh, are you? Oh shit. Yeah, just heal up. Smash.
Go out. We're good. kill a ranger behind us?
Sure. One down here too.
Well, Brian, the other extraction games were a blast.
I guess we can just go east.
Dude, streaming Midnight Walkers and Mistfall Hunter is equivalently fun to streaming Dark and Darker for me. It's so fun. But I can't play those games. I can't. Hey, the rogue's right near us. Well, near us.
Yeah.
Being able to break doors by hitting them is pretty nice. Probably not worth it.
Not at all. These fucking rogues. Reminds me of the good old days.
Yeah, Stalker, there's no other games to play. There's no other games at all. I played through them all. Every playtest has already been played by me. So they also did some reversion updates this week, which is the only reason I decided to play it. Morning Stars one hit. Oh, that's kind of good. I do have to leave after this game, by the way, so I can head out to my my fancy dinner. Honestly, he should have just won the 1v3.
There was someone hiding in
Skill
here.
issue for sure.
I literally was about to walk right past him.
It's definitely a skill thing for sure. Any class can break it except Rogue? Wait, Rogue can't break it? No, Rogue probably can. What if you bring a pickaxe or a loot? Or whatever it's called. Whatever. Yeah, I think you can, right? But maybe not with daggers.
I'm surprised that thing survived that many headshots.
He literally took 6 hits?
And
Damage was that. How'd you do?
one.
Back to the elevators we go.
I mean, yeah, which if you only watch me for Dark and Darker, then I don't see why I would, like, tell you to stick around. Because I don't plan to play Dark and Darker for the long term. As soon as the other extraction games come out later this year, I mean, it's very likely I won't be playing the game at all. Even if they add solos back, you know? Midnight Walkers showed me how fun a game can be that isn't Dark and Darker to stream. You know, like, it's almost identical combat, too. So, like, yeah, if you only watch me for Dad, like, you're gonna be disappointed, because I don't plan to, you know, stick to,
We gotta wait.
you know, I don't plan to stick to it or anything.
Portal's this way.
I mean, my channel is pretty much variety now. I mean, this is what it is. I'm not a only Dark and Darker channel anymore. Like, if the only thing you like watching from me is Dark and Darker, that's fine. But, you know, just know that I don't plan to only play Dark and Darker on my channel. Like, 100%. Like, there's no way, you know. Like, what can I do if you don't like anything but Dark and Darker, you know? There's nothing I can do to make you like watching my content if it's not Dark and Darker. But I also don't plan to only play Dark and Darker. So, I don't know what you want me to do or say. Because if, you know what I mean? If you don't like watching any other extraction game than Dark and Darker, then what am I supposed to say? You know? I don't really know what you want from me here. I mean, I am not a Dark and Darker channel anymore, and I think some people, I don't know. I'm hoping everybody's realized that at this point. I'm not a Dark and Darker like creator anymore. I am an extraction, you know, like variety streamer at this point. You know, I play all extractions. You know. Well, I did say that, Sepser. I said it in one of my other streams that if you were only here to watch Dark and Darker content only, that you might as well unsubscribe because I don't plan to
I
play
think
Dark and
that if
Darker on
we
my channel like
fought
that anymore.
strictly trios teams, then it would be fairly fun. They'll need solos.
Yeah, the gear change was good, but we still need solos and duos.
Just stop adding magic stuff to like barb holding gear and stuff.
Yeah, I don't have time for another game. I gotta go very soon. Well, I have no issue with you. If you still like playing Dark and Darker, that's perfectly fine. You know, that's not really what the conversation about, or that's not really what the conversation is. That's fine. But I made a comment on, you know, I made a comment on streams earlier that if you only watch me for Dark and Darker, that like I can't, you know, I can't really provide that anymore, you know? If you're looking for Dark and Darker solo guides or anything like that, they're not going to exist anymore. You know, the game is not the same that it used to be. So, you know, in the time that I'm waiting for other extraction games to come out, you know, I guess I'll just do some trio streams while I pray to God that SDF actually adds back the fun part of the game, which is solos. But you know, if he doesn't, it's no sweat. It's fine. I don't care anymore. You know, I have plenty of other games that I want to play. There's so much variety out there that's coming this year, so I'm not stressed about Dark and Darker anymore. You know, Dark and Darker could live or die, and I will be unaffected in the long term. You know, it just is what it is. You know, it's fine. I'm not here to debate on, you know, I'm not really here to debate on Dark and Darker. Like, yeah, you know what sucks is the update is actually good. The update for, like, I like the increased values of gear. And I like the reduced value of the rolls, but also keeping the rolls here to play with. I think the update is fine. Which is why it sucks so much. Because I like Dark and Darker, and I like the gear roll change. It's just that we're still sitting here waiting for solos. It sucks. And solos can't play the game. Because 1v3ing is miserable. Like, it's just trios running them down. Like, I don't see how that's fun. And, like, sure, if the trio happens to run into another trio, they can form a team, I guess, but should you really be required to form, like, random teams in Dungeon? Just to not get ran down by the teams of 3? I personally think that solos will be back before next season, because like, surely SDF has realized how bad it's gotten, right? Like, surely he's noticed. You know, he can't be that dumb, right? Well, that's kind of how I feel, Chapel. I think variety is great, personally. I think it's, like, by far the most fun thing that I can do for stream is streaming a variety of extraction games that are coming out. But right now we're out of extraction games to play. There's nothing really left for me. So until the other games come back out in the next few months, I'm kind of stuck without anything else to play, you know? Think it would help if solo players and trios would have double HP or triple. But why? Why not just have solos? That's what I don't understand. Honestly, Mecha Break doesn't really interest me that much. Like, I don't know. I tried it a little bit. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about. I don't really know what to say about it. I don't really care for mech games that much. Well, that's the freaking problem, right? It's that everything's a playtest. I just want a game that I can play on stream and not be gone in 3 days. And that's every single game that I've been playing. I even played, yes, I played the Escape from Duck Beta too. I have played everything. Yes. Yes, I did. I promise. Yep, I am also hoping that Hunger and Midnight Walkers goes well. Yep, same here. Same here. That's also true. If you gave Solo triple HP, they would probably just team up and then you'd have a trio of triple HP solos. Well, Mistfall Hunter's not out yet. Yeah, Mistfall's not back yet. We're still waiting for that to release. That won't be back till, like, towards the end of the year. I don't know if Hunger... I'm hoping Hunger has a different distinction that separates itself from Hunt Showdown. I hope it does, because we don't need another Hunt Showdown copy or anything like that. Yeah, we don't want a copy. Alright, guys, it's been fun. I'm gonna go do my birthday plans. So thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. And I will catch you guys next time. I think I'll be busy tomorrow as well. I'll be doing birthday stuff both days with different family. I might be back on Sunday, though. Okay? So, have a good rest of your day, guys. And I guess we'll be back playing Dark and Darker for the next month. Outside of... I am going on vacation around the 20th of July for a week. But until August 13th, there are no other extraction games out. So I guess we'll be just playing some dad on stream. I'm probably not going to really make that many videos on it, though, because I don't really want to. But I guess we'll do some stream content while I just bide time and wait for the good games to come out. So see you guys. Catch you later. Have a great rest of your day.